Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory once again this morning, looking to extend this record run that we've seen over the past week or so. We had both the Dow and NASDAQ at record highs at the end of the day yesterday. S&P 500 up about 0.75% to start the month of September. Its best first day of September ever. Which was, or since 2010, I'm sorry. It's the best first day of September since 2010 for the S&P, which was an interesting number I saw this morning. We got the ADP private payrolls number out this morning. Really minimal job growth as far as private payrolls in the U.S. That, of course, is leading up to the August report we'll get on Friday morning before the market opens. Shares of retailers in focus this morning. We're going to watch Macy's, also Guess moving to the upside this morning, both beating expectations with their latest quarterly results. Apple shares back on watch this morning, looking to extend this post-split rally that started back on Monday. And Rocket companies back to the upside. Big move in the pre-market for Rocket ahead of their earnings report coming up today as well. It's Wednesday, September 2nd, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see Australia leading the way to the upside. Everything else pretty much higher. Hong Kong to the downside. Let's go over to Europe and see how things are shaping up so far. We have nice positive numbers top to bottom once again throughout the European landscape. Let's shift over to North America and see, more positivity here. Look at the NASDAQ again today, almost a full percent to the upside. TSX futures here in Toronto looking at about a 0.9% advance. Brazil's open trading higher. We have Bitcoin to the downside this morning after breaking 12,000 for the first time in a few weeks yesterday. Crude oil also in positive territory ahead of inventory data coming up at 10:30. Gold trading a little bit lower so far this morning. A little bit of a muted look. Sean is COVID ready. We are still social distancing here, but with the nice NASDAQ mask this morning, Sean.
Yeah, that's why. We just got to throw this NASDAQ mask off because we're going to be talking about Apple, and then we'll take it off here. This is enough. I just wanted to show everybody the mask there. But yeah, NASDAQ continues to lead the way here today. Apple just ripping people's faces off, and that will continue to happen probably forever. So we'll just wait to see what happens there. And my favorite stock of the week, Walmart, back on watch as well. Obviously, that's not a NASDAQ name, but hey, check out NVIDIA. Check out DraftKings as well. People know that I'm holding that stock, so that's been a good move up today as well. So look, there's lots of stuff happening. Rocket with its first release, hopefully after market today. It's going to be a fun day, Neil.
Yeah, Rocket should be after market, and the call coming up at 4:30. The Michael Jordan news, spiking. DraftKings, already a strong stock anyways. Was sort of mentioning that. So there's going to be a heck of a lot to watch for. It is Wednesday, hump day. Like Brendan said, this market just seems to surprise some people every single day. At this point, I feel like almost nothing can surprise you with the strength that we're seeing in the markets today. But I'm watching DraftKings come back in here, and it just feels like MJ is an investor. When you bring on the GOAT, I guess is what it means. It felt like a bit of too much of a move for me, but if it wasn't a strong stock, maybe I doubt it a little bit more, Brennan.
Yeah, going to be an interesting story, but an interesting move for DraftKings today. Can we throw my screen up here real quick, guys? Just want to highlight this ADP number this morning, 428,000 versus, kind of tough to see there, versus 950,000 expected on the private payrolls number. So again, that's ahead of the August government report that we'll get coming up on Friday morning at 8 o'clock. So a number of interesting earnings to get through this morning. We'll talk about Macy's and Guess here coming up as well. First off, though, let's have a look at what is coming up a little bit later in the show. We have another great educational video for you. Yeah, we filmed it last week with Arun when he was in for Sean talking about trading the futures, part 2. Introduction to futures trading. Also, it is Wednesday. That means we have our Wednesday 1 p.m. recording session. Please join us right back here at this channel. We're going to change it up a little bit this week. We're going to talk a little bit about our journeys, where we came from, how we got started in trading, how we got to where we are now. So join us for that. And yeah, can poker players, if you're into poker, can poker players become good traders. So we'll have a little discussion coming up at 1 p.m. this afternoon, all about those topics. Let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and hello, traders. I wish you all a very profitable day and remind you that every morning we're sending free watch lists. So please sign up at the link I'm sending on the chat. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We have lots of names to get through here this morning. Let's talk about Macy's. First of all, nice look for Macy's here in the pre-market, moving higher after they reported a quarterly loss, but it was still much better than expected. 57 cents per share, in fact, better than expected when it comes to the per share number. The share is still down about 60% since the February high that they reached at the beginning of the year. We also had net sales that fell 35.8% to 3.56 billion. However, even that number, guys, was better than expected. So pretty good look here for Macy's early on.
Yeah, it certainly is, and this was the stock that we were talking about with two support levels, which were great for intraday scalping. There was first that sort of 635 range, and then there was that hard six even bottom, finally breaking out through this price. And this is what we've kind of been waiting for: some sustained action and buying above $7. Second price target up here for a break would be like $7.75. So that's what I'm looking for if we can take the top. I know you're looking at a pre-market high of 762, just this little couple wicks up here on very, very light volume. I think 75 is a more interesting level to the upside. Definitely looking for some support down in that 7 to 15 range. If I can pick some up down there, certainly would be interested to do so. And if it holds, I think that's one of those little dip buy opportunities for us. So those are levels I'm watching in Macy's. On a break, I would not be looking at the high of the day. I'm going to watch that 775 for possible resistance today.
Macy's up here, 500,000 share bid imbalance. So that's also something to be considered when looking at those levels. But hey, what's up to a couple new members here? Vela Jean Scarlett, nice name, I like that name. And Ms. May here as well. So thank you so much for everybody becoming a member today. And like Neil and Brendan mentioned there, we do have the 1 p.m. time slot coming up as well today for some more videos. But yeah, here's Macy's. So it's just growing. I mean, it was 500, now it's 700. Watch out for the top to break off here. Look, it's not like it's a great report or anything like that. It's just, it's so beat down. They still have that big dividend. They didn't cut the dividend or anything like that. So Macy's still looking like it's going to be a good one. Net loss, 431 million. That's not that much. And we'll see what happens now. But $1.39 per share seems like a good number. So we'll wait to see if it can come back to 7 where we can load up. But for right now, 750 is the high. We'll look to see if it takes it out, but it's looking like, I mean, the thing is, we do these things with 23 minutes to go, so hard to see what's going to happen right at the open, but there is a buy imbalance, and we know what that can do to stocks, Brendan.
An even bigger mover here in the pre-market, guys. Guess also reporting better than expected quarterly results out after market yesterday. We had a couple of numbers that were pretty impressive. We mentioned the 57 number for Macy's. It was actually Guess. So they reported a loss of 1 cent per share, which was 57 cents better than expected. As of August 1st, the company said about 95% of its retail stores as well have fully reopened. So Guess with a huge move here, guys, in the pre-market.
It's going to be hard for me to go away from this chart and try shorting almost right here at 1425. Anytime you see a gap up like this and then a hard, it's a hard floor, but it's only 500,000 shares in volume. I think that's worth keeping in mind, but I'm just going to take a shot on a gap retracement through 1425. I think certainly you give it to like 50, 55, something along that range, even if it fills in half. I mean, that's a fantastic return. This is, Macy's isn't nearly as overheated as Guess is in terms of a percent move up, in my opinion. So if I'm going to try one short initially, it's going to be Guess. I would love it if we get this on volume at the open. It does feel like it's any second now going to burst this little 1425 level, and I want to see if there's some selling that triggers into it. So I'll likely take a shot shorting Guess.
Yeah, I mean, up again today, Guess, and it's just been a nice little stock. If you play these off earnings, you got to wait for there's some volume. 500,000 shares coming in today on Guess. Obviously, 15 is a nice little level there. It's bounced off there. Check the daily chart on Guess here. It's broken above its 50-period moving average, so you guys know that I like when that happens. And it's not even down that much. Like, some of these stocks fall like crazy off their March or their February highs, but Guess coming back, wow, like $4 bottom there, up to 15 today. It's broken above this little $14 level. So I think that that's a hold area right there. We did gap through here. You do have back in August of last year as well, 14 and change. So yeah, guess is off right now. And I think 14 level looks pretty solid. So let's play it through 14. And if it can get that bounce, then that would be fantastic. But there's bigger fish to fry today.
All right, guys, let's before we get to Apple, let's talk real quick about NVIDIA here out late with a couple of upgrades from UBS and JP Morgan. So nice look, or sorry, it was Goldman Sachs, UBS and Goldman Sachs upgrading NVIDIA today. We've seen big time strength in this entire group over the past week or so. AMD making huge moves going back to the beginning of this week and the end of last week. So let's have a look at NVIDIA here, guys.
I mean, look, I'm trading these names every day, including AMD. You saw what happened yesterday with AMD. I had over 110 executions, and we may do the same with NVIDIA. So NVIDIA up to 590 today. This is what I'm talking about with bigger fish to fry here. This is another 6.5%. Wait till they announce that they're going to split, and then you're going to see this stock go to the moon if it's not already to the moon. Look at the daily chart on this stock. Don't step in front of this freight train. I mean, just straight upside in the last, even call it the last month. From $400 to $600 in less than a couple weeks right now. NVIDIA, do not stand in front of this freight train. Let's just look for places to get long, and 580 looks like a good enough one for me. You did have some consolidation below 580, so if we can get some bids down there, then we sure as heck will. We love NVIDIA.
Yeah, I have 575 I had 580s with like an S next to it, somewhere in that lower end range. 575 as well for some consolidation points to buy in dips. We've sort of seen this party before where it's not the initial break to the upside. It does test the bottom on a moving stock, and this has happened in Apple as well, and patience is usually the better end of the game. I would leave it in there that if you have like a 570 pullback, maybe eventually gives you that 590 break a little bit later on in the session. Just to let you guys know, that was a big iceberg on that guess at 1425, so there was liquidity down there, but a huge iceberg order. Not a lot of pre-market volume, so this is not a break that I absolutely love on low volume, so I'm not going to take it, but I'm looking at 75 on a pullback, which is maybe splitting hairs here on NVIDIA.
All right, guys, let's go to the next one here. Apple, obviously huge, impressive move since the split going back to Monday. They came out this morning and said, along with Google, they're going to release a Notifications Express app that will allow people to opt into being notified if they have come in contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19. So again, this is both Apple and Google coming out with this app jointly. So, but users, I think it's important to say, users have to opt into this service.
I thought we already had this app. I mean, I have a COVID app on my phone from Google, so I don't know. I thought that's what that was already. But good to announce that. I just did want to, we will talk about Apple first, but I just want to make sure that we always check off the box with our members. Thank you so much, Keith, for joining us as well. And then a brand new one just now, Yang de Jesus. What's up, Yang? Thanks for joining us as well. So big thank you to everybody coming on board today. And look, I mean, we talked about Apple early on. That's when I put on our NASDAQ face mask here. And it just continues to run. And it's an absolute beast. You can see that's NVIDIA. Wow, I mean, Apple even now taking out the day's high right now of 138 and change. So Apple just keeps on going, guys. Our charts are going to continue to look like this as long as there's some deep prints. That should get cleaned up soon. There's more now because of the split. So that's what all this looks like if you're wondering. But just try to follow the wicks. Don't look at the wicks. Follow the candles. But yeah, VWAP down here at 137 and change. Not really worried about VWAP too much right now because, again, we got to wait for that big print to come off the open, and that will affect that. But right here, again, it's the same as everything. We like to get long at 137 if we can. I don't want to chase things upside. We're already up 0.6%. NASDAQ's at all-time highs. NVIDIA's ripping. Apple's ripping. Everything's taking off the roof right now. Rocket just moved up as well. So Apple, yeah, I mean, look, there's no levels. If we're lucky enough to get back down to yesterday's close, we'll take 134. But I don't know. I'm just going to wait for this one to settle down and then try to pick the best spots for long. But Apple has to be on your radar today, guys. Maybe even calls for the week.
Yeah, it's one of those where sometimes the best trade in Apple is like 940, 945. You just have to be patient buying this one. I apologize for the wicks on the chart there. I do have it written down. I was looking at some levels on my 3, which is a bit skewed. 133.50 to 134 is an area. If it dips into that range, that's the first look I'll get on any kind of a bounce play coming out. So it's likely a 134 around that area on a long. If there's a pullback, it doesn't seem likely anymore.
All right, guys, welcome to those just joining us. If you are joining us for the first time, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, guys. We got above 75,000 earlier in the week. Thank you so much for all the support. We did break 1,500 likes yesterday. That made Valeria very happy, so let's try and beat that once again today. Hit the like button, guys. Sign up for the watch list as well. Valeria has the link for you. If you haven't yet, sign up for the watch list between 9 a.m. Eastern and 9:30 every morning. We go through everything moving around in the pre-market, so make sure you get a copy of the watch list sent to you for free, worth saying, for FREE every single morning. Let's talk about Rocket here, guys. Another little headline, Robbie, if you want to grab my screen here. Little headline just out when we came on, guys. Bank of America with an upgrade on Rocket companies ahead of their earnings report. There was no time given for the actual release, but it's worth saying the call is scheduled for 4:30. So safe to say, or pretty safe to say, it's going to be after the close today.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of goes without saying. Whether it's 4.05, 4.10, who really knows? But getting run up already on that upgrade. You sort of watch out for this like 33.50. That's the only levels you have to go by right now on Rocket are sort of those even dollar areas. So as much as I want to get involved in this on any kind of a pullback or maybe some breakout style trades, the first thing I'm looking for is a test back down to this 33 to 33.50 area. That's been a successful at least 2 times in the last week when Rocket's been going up, doing that little dip buy. So I see no reason to get too far away from that same trade today. If we get some sell action in like 10-15 minutes or so, that gets us back into that 50 penny range. That's where I look to start to pick some up, maybe for initially a scalp trade and then maybe some breakouts later on. It's one of those things where we've seen these things get bought up into earnings. Could see the same thing, especially with that upgrade.
There we go, big stretch time. Yeah, no, Rocket's a great trade today. It's been great for a while. As long as the volume's there, you have 4 million shares. Big upgrade, first earnings report, up 48 or 9% or so from their initial release just a couple weeks ago, I think. Rocket Mortgage came out. Okay, not working on the daily chart, but we'll figure that out anyways. Rocket, yeah, just moving to the upside. And the thing about it is you can get big moves off the open. So yesterday it falls down here. This is a 3-minute chart, and then at about 9:45 it starts taking off. So let's see if that happens again today. Like Neil mentioned, if we can get it back to 33, we shall do it.
Tesla here, another one that's been just on a tear since the split on Monday. We had a little bit of a pullback yesterday on the $5 billion offering that Tesla announced before the open yesterday. Independent researchers with this crazy price target of 109 as of Monday, they've increased that now to 114 and maintained their sell rating on Tesla, guys. It's almost laughable.
Why do you just buy?
It has to be a mistake.
Like that, to be perfectly honest, they just wanted to get their name out there again. Like, what is literally like? Either it's a mistake, like Sean says, or it's just a way to get in the headlines. Because of going from 109 to 114 and the stock it's $480, what's the actual point? Like, what did you actually do? You did literally nothing, but we just said their name. So there you go. I think still looking at one level of importance, and you can look at the pre-market bottom here, 475. I think if you look into yesterday's action, ignore all of that. It was a turn off of 470, so that's that $5 range through the bottom. I was looking for 520 to be resistance to the upside on any move up. It never even tested that unless you look at the pre-market action. So relatively weak, at least for Tesla. I'm looking maybe breaks at 490, 491, but I think the first thing is that 470. If that goes, that's sort of a scalp trade that has to happen off of a previous day bottom, looking at some weakness. So 470 short, 490 through the top if we can get it, but still thinking at some point 520 is going to be the level that I want to watch.
Okay, yeah, okay, so I'm still looking at Rocket here, looking at it at a couple different levels here. But yeah, Tesla just keeps on going upside. We already know about that. NIO, the electric car maker, again, this stock up 2.5. Was this our next stock to talk about? I don't know, I didn't see it on the list. No, I just want to talk about, come on, like, why isn't my charts? I just want to talk about NIO as well, because this electric car space just continues to get pumped. And I mean, $19.95, a $20 close, you're up to 21 again, another 3% on NIO today. NIO is the ticker symbol, so watch Workhorse, watch Tesla. Nikola maybe today, and then you have NIO. the name that I like.
Yeah, we also had SPAC. I saw that SPAQ guys going crazy this morning in the pre-market as well. NEO on the watch list as well, guys. So yeah, have a look at NEO back to the upside today. I want to talk about Peloton here. JP Morgan increasing their price target on Peloton to $105, a street high. That is versus a median from the rest of the analysts on the street of $65. So big, huge move here, guys, for Peloton this morning.
Again,
get on those bikes, baby.
Yeah, get on the bike, guys. It's just continuing to run up. And look at Peloton here, and I'm looking for essentially this 90 area. I'm always going to be trying to, if you get multiple days in a row, like parabolic moves like this, I'm going to look for a rollover if I can, but I'm only going to short it if we're below this 90 or if we're testing 100. So it's not about jumping in front of the train. It's looking for selling to come in, whether it's profit taking or whether it's going to be, just a bit of a short sellers busting a gut here at these crazy moves. I'm looking at 90 first, maybe a scalp into that 88 range. Otherwise, I'm likely to just continue to take some breakouts on Peloton. So maybe a scalp trade through 93 and see how far that one goes up to that 95, and then rinse and repeat all the way to 100, where I'm likely to take a shot anyways, short side trade. So 90 and 100, maybe some breakouts at 93. Brennan just like throwing me off there because I didn't realize SPAC again back in place. I'm gonna have to add that one to my quote board.
Yeah, I'm just dropping out some electric car names there. Yeah, good one there, Brendan. And then, okay, look, just to let you guys clarify something. So Bruce Smith, former Buffalo Bill great, asking here if, well, I guess he is a Buffalo Bill great. Rocket hits 33, are we going long? And I just said, sure. Got me cracking up all day. Okay, thanks, Ron Redmond. Trying, that's why I'm here, I guess. But no, what I was saying about that, Bruce, was the fact that when Neil and I are giving some of these levels, I just want to let everybody know, we still need to see the price action on these stocks, right? It's not like I just say, oh, I'm going to buy Apple off the open right away or anything like that. You got to let these stocks settle down a little bit. If Rocket can come back to 33, then that would be fantastic. We'll see what happens. If it's coming back and it's dropping, like a knife, just falling down, I don't think we step in front of it. I think what we do is we let it settle down, and then if it forms a base or some sort of consolidation around a 33 level, then that's when we can step in and go crazy for it. Walmart the other day, I took it off the open, and a few stocks like that will do that. We'll let you know if we like to do something like that, but for today, on a stock like Rocket, I'm going to let it settle down. I just want to make sure that we did talk about that, Brendan, because we get a lot of questions on the chat here about what our levels are and what we're going to be going long at, and these are just ideas for what we're talking about. We still have to see price action.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Very, very important point to make and reiterate at that, guys. These are areas of interest. As Sean said, let's see how it trades when we get to those areas of interest. Let's go to DraftKings, guys. Obviously, the news this morning, Michael Jordan joining the company as a special advisor to the board. There was also a few reports that he is now an investor in DraftKings as well. Huge move to the upside. But we are coming back in a hurry on DraftKings here.
I'm a holder of the stock. I made that perfectly clear from day one to everybody, and it's at a much lower price than this. But the point is here, I don't know if this tilts the needle as much as it should be right now, up 11.83%. Michael Jordan didn't do anything for the Washington Wizards. I actually think he sent that franchise stumbling down. But that's just my opinion there. I don't know how well of a businessman he is, but we did see what happened with Nike, the Air Jordans, things like that. People do support this man, like we keep saying, the greatest basketball player of all time. But Pascal Siakam could take that over, I guess.
If he knows where his feet are on the court.
Yeah, I know he stepped out of bounds. But you know what? Whatever. That guy's all about effort. Okay, let's talk about this before we go on the Raptors tangent again. $41 the bottom. This is what we're talking about there with Bruce. If we can get it down here, that would be great, but I think it might break this bottom right now on the open. I think a lot of traders coming in today taking risks on DraftKings. They may just sell into this. This is an 11% move on a very popular name. You're up 6 million shares by the time this opens. So I would look for some profit taking to happen on DraftKings. And if you look at the daily chart, again, you'll see why. We're right at that level again, $42. So we've bounced off a couple times at 42. Let's see if this is profit taking. No surprise that we sold off of this 44 top. So watch out here for a 44 top if this wants to go. Do we have another 10%? We saw Zoom go up 40x yesterday. So could DraftKings go on Michael Jordan news? Possibly. I just don't like the odds that this thing continues to go. It may just hover around here.
All right, guys, let's have a look at the overall market here. Before we do that, I just want to point out this is a fantastic picture of our man Arun. On the thumbnail today, Trading Futures Part 2. We're going to talk all about trading futures, introduction, a little bit of basics when it comes to the futures markets. But yeah, let's bring in our man Arun. He is back remote, going to have a look at the futures here. We're back to the upside. Ho-hum, go again, right, Arun?
Yeah, I mean, overnight movement has been fairly active, but then once the market opens, it's been fairly muted. So it's going to be an interesting ride. You know what? I've gone ahead and taken a long. I think there's a minor long to be taken in front of 40. It is not meant to be a huge hold. I just think if we can actually push past the high that we put in around 35.55 or so, 35.56, whatever the high was, if we can get past that, I think we can continue on. So I'm just taking a long here. It's only going to cost me about 6 points. So 35.40 is the minor level that I'm working in front of. It's meant to be a quick trade. It's meant to be entirely based on action after the open. But the big level is 3,500. If we can get back into that 35.25, 35.20 area, I think 3,500 is the workable level. But for now, there's a shot that I'm taking in front of 35.40 just based on the movement I'm seeing in front of it. And also the fact that we got through 35.50, which clears some stops for me. So minor level at 35.40, and the big one is down at 3,500, looking at 35.25 as the area to start buying if it gets down there and starts to work its way into an actual buy setup.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check in with Arun again tomorrow, and always good to have some key levels on the overall market to keep in mind. Let's talk about AMC here, guys. They came out aftermarket yesterday. You can see big time volume, big spike to the upside in the aftermarket yesterday, and said by the end of this week, they're going to have 70% of their theaters reopened in the U.S. So that is the news on AMC. This is 725, the top here in the pre-market. Above that, you're looking at 750. So a bit of an area there above 725 to 750 if you go out to the daily time frame. But AMC, big time volume in the pre-market, guys.
Yeah, worth remembering, sort of a big movie coming out, U.S. debut tomorrow, Tenet. I think a lot of people are betting heavily that that's going to spur some return to the theaters.
What movie?
Tenet.
No, I have no idea.
It's got Denzel's son in it, the guy from Ballers. You know the guy.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan. No. Whatever his name is.
Whatever his name is.
Michael B. Washington or something? No,
it's not Michael B. Washington, but
my mind's on Jordan right now.
John Washington. 725 for me. I'm going to look at a level like that, and my first thought, you get parabolic move. It has some trouble holding it, up 15%, some trouble holding that move in the pre-market here on good volume. This level 710 off the open, if I can catch something in that range, so we bump up to like 710, as long as it doesn't break that 25 off the open, what I'm trying to get at is I'm going to short it. And I'm going to do that as long as we've not broken 725, and then hopefully on the way back down. And I don't want to price worse than $7 if I can get something close to a 710. I think I like that risk reward. I will not hold it through 7.25. There's one other stock I want to get to. I don't always trade penny stocks, but Loan, you'll probably see that one. I did have it on. I just took a lot of it off here, not wanting to be in too much of a pre-market trade. So a couple of shots at this to the short side, already some good wins. Shorted twice off of a 50 level, all the way down to 42, which is my favorite number in baseball. Comes back, I re-enter it, and get another nice trade in here down to 46. But some buying stepped in, and it's like 925. I wanted to look at some other things here. I will get back into this trade if I can catch 50 to 55 one more time. The stock is up over almost 100%, and they had somewhat positive news, but not a heck of a lot that makes me bullish.
We didn't talk too much about Walmart, but I just got in on a little bit of a pullback here. So we're long at 151.60, 62, sorry. And it's printing 77s now. So we'll wait to see 87, 88. The top is here is 152 and change. So we'll see if we can start the day off with a decent win on Walmart, but we need to have this happen. It's light position, and this is what I'm talking about, Bruce, when we talk about when we talk a little bit about the trading here, we don't want to get too heavy in on the pre-market break. So we'll wait. I mean, I would love for Walmart to fall back down here to 150. Like I said, this is a relatively small position, so we're going to give it back here to 150 as well. Brendan, you did talk a little bit there on the open about Bitcoin calling back in here. And yeah, it's down a little bit here to 11.48. And you're just going to see now GBTC. Obviously, this is not down 100%. I just want to bring this to your attention that that's where you're going to trade on the pink sheets if you need to trade BTC. What's up, B?
Just checking on Genius Brands here, guys. I know everyone in the chat, or a lot of people like to look at GNUS, big spike here to the upside. Looks like Sonic the Hedgehog and Pac-Man animated series coming to Genius Brands. So a couple of headlines coming out here on GNUS. Just saw this big spike here on decent volume, guys.
Wasn't there like a Sonic movie that nobody watched? Is that really going to spike Genius? Look, yeah, good for them. We'll see what happens.
Genius Brand was also an $8 stock like a month and a half ago.
Exactly. I think it's worth putting into perspective. My first inclination here would be, how do I manage to fade this play to the upside? I mean, I'm going to jump to my 3. I don't really see anything to this upside. I did get
Run,
into
Valeria, run.
Guess just got into Guess, guys. That
fall.
broke 14. I was able to get some at 13.90. 14.25 would have been good, but we got that short on. If Genius doesn't take out this top here, you're going to probably see me roll into some kind of a short in front of that 13, sort of 135 area, but it doesn't seem like gigantic news to me. Valeria made it to drop the bell here. Did not trip, as you saw Sean encouraging her, is with the term I'll use. I mean, here we go. Market about to open here. 5, 4, 3. AMC at that 7 mark right now. Let's go.
All right, so that is that. We are now open. Thank you, Miss V, for the amazing ringing of the bell here on a Wednesday. So it is hump day. Well, look, this is what we're talking about. Look at the futures falling off here. This is why you don't need to get involved early onto some stocks. So we do take another little Walmart piece long here. I'm going to wait to see if this can break down. 149.50 yesterday was that bottom. I'm going to give it a little bit more. We're not in many shares. Let's give it through 149. You break through 149, we'll dump some Walmart, but the futures flush a little bit. And it's not a big flush, Neil. It's two handles. So let's not get too crazy, but there is a flush.
Yeah, a little bit there. I just got into some AMC. There was almost no bounce, and I said to myself, I did want to hopefully get it in between like 7, 7.10. Able to get like 96 on this little pullback, hopefully on AMC. And Guess, like I mentioned, 13.90 or so. 14.25 was a big breakdown price. So let's see if I can't get a move down to the 6.75 area on AMC. But the market is continuing to slide here.
Yep.
And, got to go back over to one that we thought was going to be strong to see if we can pick up a little bit of NVIDIA. And, you're just sort of seeing it come in. 75 was kind of what I liked. It's kind of giving you a shot at 80s. I want to try to be patient with this one. We talked about waiting for consolidation or some kind of a bounce, but I thought it would be 75. Looks like it might be 80 on that one, but market continuing to slide.
Look, I mean, look at it. Apple, So Apple right now down $3-4. Watch out now. What is happening with this market? Big size on Apple at 135, but this market is just tanking right here. What's up, B?
Yeah, another one getting a little bit of the flush treatment this morning. Big mover yesterday, guys. Zoom, huge flush there at the open from 447 down to 435. $10 move for Zoom, guys.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, here we go, guys. Macy's as well. Nothing but upside here on Macy's. We're long 53s. That was another indicated stock for you guys early on, so we did take that one. I'm still holding Walmart, but look at these futures fall down. Apple leading the way. Apple getting destroyed right now to the downside, but we have Macy's and Walmart right now, guys.
Yeah, it just got triggered. Also, Tesla breaking that 470 mark. Remember from yesterday? I just didn't think that was going to happen almost immediately, but you are seeing it test down below that bottom. That was at 470 mark. And again, it's always worth looking at that higher time frame. And apologies for that little the split. It's going to skew some of our charts up here. But we're looking at this 470 level all afternoon, able to hold it. I like this one, and we'll probably give it back to that 75. But it's about a $5 range that we're working with on Tesla. Guess back to that 14.25 mark where I think I want to load up. If it holds that, I'm going to jump into some more shorts on that trade. So Guess to the short side. AMC, and now looking at Tesla as the market heading southbound.
Yeah, and here we go again. I mean, we just keep talking about the same stuff over and over again. But here goes Macy's. We're taking that off. We're still waiting for Walmart, man. It's right at this 149. We're going to be out of this one. It's not a big trade at all. So we'll lose what we made here. We'll lose on Walmart what we're probably going to make here on Macy's. But Walmart right now, 149 and change. We're going to give it back down here, like I was saying before, to about this closing spot, 148.60s and change. We'll see. But if the futures want to come back, then good on you, futures. There goes Walmart. So, or not Walmart. There goes Macy's there in a nice little move. 15 cents, guys. We're long at 52 here. Good trade on Macy's. Giddy up. What up, Pete?
Another big weak one on the morning, guys. Home. At Home Group, we mentioned it yesterday. Earnings aftermarket yesterday were very much not good. So we're back below 18 here. Big flush on volume for Home in New York, guys.
Yeah, that was one that had solid earnings and got absolutely crushed, guys. So, I mean, it's an interesting one. You do see that happen at times. Well, look out for this Tesla. Looks like the 470 break. I did roll into some more. 475 is coming close. That was a target range and the only way that I actually wanted it short today. But I'm looking at Rocket come back in here a little bit too. And we're thinking about ways to pick this one up. 33 we just bounced off right now. Next level down, of course, 3250 is a pre-market low. If it holds that range, I'm looking to see if we can't be a dip buyer on Rocket going into earnings, guys, today. So worth noting there is a catalyst on Rocket today.
Okay, we're hella long right now as well. We just took long DraftKings. I want to talk about that. We just didn't get involved with that enough. So we went long at 30s, cashed them out there in the 60s. DraftKings on a move back upside there. And this is kind of the levels we're talking about. Makes a bottom here, 39.50 or so. Comes all the way back. We take a little bit of shares there going long on DraftKings. So good trade there. Walmart, though, we talk about our winners and we also talk about our losers. Fall in the hole on Walmart. There's that out. We gave it a shot again. This is what I'm talking about when we get in the pre-market. Not a heavy trade because you can't invest too much capital when this is kind of happening and we don't know what the futures are going to do. So good move on that one. And there goes DraftKings. Nice little 25, 30 cent win right now. Macy's 11 cents. DraftKings in the money. So good open here besides Walmart, guys.
Yeah, I'm watching NVIDIA. It's getting right down towards this 575, and I'm not really seeing any support in sight. Tesla holding 475 at least for the time being, so we're in that range still. It does feel like it wants to take that top off. I'm only going to give it that $5 worth of range. That was a targeted trade here, but we're waiting to see what happened when we got to this price level on NVIDIA, and I'm not seeing any buying step up whatsoever, so not a heck of a lot of impetus for me to get in. I can tell you AMC took the top off. So I just got the reverse long 725. Of course, as Brendan mentioned, we're also watching that 750 level. So likely to scalp some out on the way up to 750 and then revisit where I want to hold that one too. Tesla now running back into the money, so 470 has been taken again. Man, if it holds this range southbound, I do feel like it's not crazy to think that 450 could come into play. This market wants to sell off.
Okay, we're going to go also, I mean, look at DraftKings, man, a beautiful trade happening right there. Out at 77. We took decent amount of shares here on this level. We talked about DraftKings all day long there, so there's a chicken dinner winner for you on DraftKings. A nice little 50-cent win on that move. And then we also do have, of course, even a bigger move and more money being made. Well, not really, no more money on DraftKings, but Macy's, look at this, solid move upside here and taking that out on the top side. So great trade on DraftKings. We are going to go Walmart long 150 again if that happens. What up, Beep?
Smile Direct Club, guys. Nice look here, 14%. We're back to this top end of the choppy mess on the daily chart, but big time volume behind this move through $9 here, 15% for SDC, guys.
Yeah, just watching the rollover start to happen over in Tesla, guys. I will get you bags over to AMC in a quick second. I did reverse into the long trade, trying to work into 750. I'll take some off in front of 65s if I can, and then next leg down in front of like 61, 62. Overall, got 71 as an average price. Given the range I was targeting, probably should be closer to 72, but you sort of try to take these the last shares on the way down. I did take some on the way up, which I think is a bit of a mistake. Either way, it's starting to roll downside. Just got some more shares out. So we'll try to slay the Tesla dragon, and maybe I'll get a shirt that says I shorted Tesla and survived it if we make sure we get a big winner here. But in the money now, $6 on Tesla. Next leg, I'm looking for 62, 63, and try to hold on to some if it can make it all the way down to 450. But that was a big level. We talked about this one on the watch list. We observed that at 470, and both of us were talking about that 70 level and how much strength it had. Once it broke, identified a top end at 75 that we'd give it to. It rolled over in front of it, and then you take advantage of it. All about structuring your trade. There goes 62. Now it's a $10 winner on Tesla and still holding a third of the position, guys. So let's see what happens here. I still have a bunch on. I want to see if we can take out 460, 450, the ultimate target for me.
Yeah, we love that 470 yesterday. Good move on the 472 there as well. Walmart, we did get some revenge. We're now close to positive on this stock as we just ramp it up through 150. We take that break there of VWAP through the 150 level. Let's see if this wants to get back going. I mean, the futures are back, so that's a good one as well. Macy's, we've dumped that. And DraftKings broke a little bit below 40 there, so we did wind up taking some out underneath 40. So big win on DraftKings, but we we did dump a little bit there. Let's see if it wants to get going back to the upside. But for me right now, it is all about Walmart trying to make that move now back to the upside on Walmart. So we're giving it that 150. I think we can get back to 151 and change. So let's see if that does happen for us on Walmart, guys.
Yeah, the big win sort of continues on Tesla. I am going to trail this one here, guys. So we're short. Average price was 71. You'll see 72.5 because that's what I still have on. I did get in 3 separate times into this trade when it rolled over. If it breaks and holds below 460, 2 legs out, and they'll both be in front of 450, in front of 55, in front of 450 even. And I've now trailed it not to break even on these shares, but our 470 level. So if it breaks back all the way to 470, I will give some back. But I'm trying to hold on to this one a little bit longer. I'm trying to hold on to AMC, but it looks like this was a bit of a failed break here. So I take the short, get blown out, reverse into the long. I take some out in front of 740 because I want to make sure I'm getting out of in stages in front of that 750 level and then make a judgment call of whether I want to add to my position. So I like the fact that we've held up at that 710. If that turns into support, maybe I can pick up some more shares. But I can tell you right now, we lined it up. We knocked it out. I'm not much of a bowler here, and if I go to the lanes, I probably won't hit many strikes. I might not even hit any spares, but just got some 457 out on Tesla. That'll be a $15 winner here. I still have a little bit on to run down to 450, but I'm not going to do that thing that I always do, which is look a gift horse in the mouth. If it bounces off this 450 level, I am going to now trail this one, and I'll see if I can get a good spot here. I've been going to my 3 or 5 to get a trail level to improve my trading, I think somewhat. If it bounces off of 450, I'm going to likely take the rest out of here. But big winner here on Tesla. Now $20 in the money. Can 450 break? That's the question now.
Yeah, probably. And I think it's a lot of people getting those shares. I don't know. I guess you got to wait to get your split adjusted shares, and people are going to sell this thing down. Tesla's been an absolute beast. What's up, B?
Big mover yesterday, guys. Just popping back up on a volume scanner here. GoGo, if you remember, had a huge move up. On news, they were selling their aviation division to Telesat. So just coming back to life here through 750, which was a bit of an area late in the day yesterday for GoGo, guys.
Go, wake me up before you go, that's for sure. Okay, 41s here, 149, 30 or so on Walmart. We'll give that to back down here, 149 and change. We'll wait to see if it breaks back downside, but we still are long. Walmart right now, and a decent amount of shares on that one as well. Macy's, DraftKings, look, we dropped it, and this is why you got to take some profit there. We were celebrating some DraftKings. It broke through 40, then we got rid of our last 10. Well, we have 10%, we have 5% now. We got rid of another bit on that break of that bottom. So right now, I think we can get reloaded in DraftKings, but look at the futures, man. We are making that move down, so watch out here. We also have Walmart taking that low again. We made a lot of money back on this break, though. That was absolutely fantastic. We tried to give it to the top. It didn't go, but right now, Walmart making dreams happen. If you're short, let's see if the futures want to recoup from this a little bit. Maybe we go 150 long again, but it doesn't look like that's going to come through. What's up, Brendan?
Watch pre-market highs here for Chewy, guys. We're already in all-time high territory, but Chewy about to take out this pre-market high, 73.50 area. Already all-time highs for Chewy again today, guys.
What is up with
and
Chewy?
if we come out of Brendan, usually I'm gonna hit the yeehaw, but I'm gonna go with the floss action for you guys to see it. I do get trailed out of Tesla here. It's a hard bounce off 450, and maybe if I rested an order there, I get an extra $8 on that last little quarter, actually fifth of a position that we had on. It wasn't much. I think that's part of the reason why you're not gonna see me cry about that one. It's gonna be a monster win. It's about the structure of the trade, identify a level on a higher time frame, and that was that 470 that we talked about. And then usually, if I have a target range like 70 to 75, I'm going to want an average price as close to the middle of that as possible. It's going to be tricky because you're sort of playing it by ear. I wanted to make sure it turned before I jumped into the second half of that position. So a couple of shots here, and then you take the bigger lot on the way back in. Structured on the way out. Ignore that wick. It didn't just trade back to 474, but that's going to continue to be a price area for me, 70 to 75. It gets back there. We'll make a judgment call whether I still like it short. And obviously, if it breaks out from that price, might be worth that long. Tesla, you know what happens when it gets going.
Yeah, and we did take Chewy long as well, so we did take that breaking through, Brendan, through 73.50. So that's our price exactly, 73.50. So sorry, 73.51 we have. So we're going to give that one again, probably back down somewhere. I mean, it's a big gapping play down here, back down to 71. What is that bottom here? 72.80 or so on this name. That is Chewy to go. So we are on Chewy there. Good trade by Neil on Tesla as that's bouncing around off that 450. Brendan again. What's up, Beep?
Another mover, guys. We talked about it. SPAC here, SPAQ, just about to take out day highs. There it goes through 1460 there on decent volume. Still not seeing anything in the way of significant headlines on this, but SPAQ on the run, guys.
I feel like because we can't name much about that Tenet movie, that's why AMC doesn't want to get going here. But this reversal, I thought we would really get to that 750. It's starting to taper off. So what I'm actually going to go ahead and do here is I'm covering the entire thing for what ends up only being like 10, 15 cents worth of a win. And as 750 breaks, I'll just go long again and really try to load up if I get 720s to the downside. I feel like I want to be a little bit more nimble on AMC today. The volume is about to crack that 10 million mark, and I think you get a lot of volume here. You can get very active. We have direct market access, which gives us some advantages, obviously. So if you're trying to hold for a breakout trade and you're not going to be super active making 10, 20, 30 trades a day on the stock, maybe hang on. But I'm looking to get out. I just did 750 break to the upside, looking for a pullback into 720 where I can jump into possibly a better long position.
I like this 135.30 or so level here on Apple. If we can get back up here and then see what happens, then you can always use something like this as a bottom, 134.70 and change. So we can try this, 135.30 on Apple if it comes back to life a little bit here. Our Walmart did drop down at 149. We did talk about that. So now we're holding a very, very light spot on Walmart here to see how far this one wants to go. But we're bouncing off these bottoms. So I think we got to get out if it does break through 148.50. And there goes Chewy. Good little call on this one. So we'll just continue to take some more and more out as we can. We just took some out there at 73. Then we got some 88s right now. Chewy to the moon right now. Let's see how high this one wants to go up. If we break 74, I mean, there's nothing higher than this. So we're going to wait to see how high it goes. But we are long, 73.50 on Chewy. There it is. Nice little catapult there. Good trade here on Chewy.
So high that it can kiss the sky, maybe?
So high, you can kiss the sky. I hope so. And if we're doing that, maybe we should trade some space, Virgin Galactic, and see what's going on with the sky, how high that is. But there's your Tesla down 2.6%.
Of course, AMC does make the break. So I make the judgment call to get out 44.45, and I give up 7 pennies as it now just cracks 50. So I got held on for a 50 break. I then take this one at 52. When it comes to the daily, it's not as if there's really much of anything that we're looking at. And this is the high from back in May. That's what we're concerned with. It's about like 750, 760, and then you have that same level here. You sort of go back all the way into February at like 775, and that's what I'm watching for. That next quarter mark is what I'm going to work with on AMC. I just took some out, and we'll go to the moon because we keep saying how high on AMC. I did try this one short and lost. Now we're trying to make that money back, guys. First break through 730, next break through 750, 775 would be the obvious first target, and $8 from there. We're just sort of picking those levels. If I see big sellers come in, I'll dump some shares as well, but nothing to see yet. Great trade here on AMC. It's not Tesla, which still showing some weakness, guys, down at 460. I want to see a retest of 450 and a bounce there might be good for a long play off that level.
Yeah, we're getting close to that, getting into Apple as well. But Chewy, man, we are just taking that profit, bang, 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 all the way to the upside. Good trade on Chewy. Oh, I didn't even realize we still have some of this Macy's. We're in and out. This is still that 10% that we like to hold. And yeah, it's not working out, but Macy's is a big winner for us today. We'll watch out to see what it wants to do now. Breaking back above 74 would be good. 7.4, $7.40. What up, Beep?
In the afternoon yesterday, guys, but Twitter just popping up here on a volume scanner through $42. You can see nice look into the close yesterday. We had a huge move up to 41.20 through 42 now. Recent highs, guys, for Twitter.
See some excitement in the back, or hear some excitement in the back. So some of the traders obviously catching some moves. I did take some more shares that I talked about. If there would be some more selling or a bigger seller on AMC, that I would dump some. I did see a little something here, something at 770. So I did cover another lot, still holding on to 20% of the position. And I will now trail it to break even now that it's made a bit of a hump and it's trying to hold a consolidation range. 775 was another break area. I won't be going long on a 775 break. I'm looking to try to hold these shares into $8. And if we can get 40 to 50 pennies on our second long in AMC, you got to be happy with that. So I'm going to hang on to this one. I'm now trailing it to 750. So if it breaks below that price, can't be a losing trade now for us on that long one.
Yeah, you got to believe in the stocks and trade the right names, and that's a great one there. Look at this, guys. Chewy. Cowbell winner alert on Chewy. Couple shares here at 73.50. Just took some out at 74. 80 big time win there on Chewy today. So really super happy with the movement on this stock as it just keeps going. And I got to phone my doctor again because I told this guy about this. So that's $25. It's 75 right now, triple on Chewy. So good to go on that name. I did want to look at NVIDIA quickly because that was another name, again, not on our watch list, but almost all of these names, guys, on our watch list today. Macy's on there, Apple on there. We're talking about Neil right now trading Tesla as well. Okay, $5.79. Make sure you sign up for that as much as you can and get your friends on as well. A free watch list. Look at this, $5.79 right now on Macy's. So we're gonna on NVIDIA. We're gonna look at that to see what is happening now on NVIDIA. I keep saying Macy's because we're looking at that stock as well. But I'm looking at a 581 break. So if we can get back up here, kind of the bottom down here, if we can break that, I like what we did here on a break, moving back to the upside. So 580, 50, 581 on NVIDIA. Look at the futures.
Yeah, those are the levels I was watching, 75 to 80, and this is exactly the pullback range. It's got to hold to 75. If it breaks 75 right now, I'm likely to stay away from NVIDIA in the short term. Thank you very much for the super chat. Before we go to Brandon Cesar Escobar, sucks that you got to move along here and not trade, but glad you're listening in. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Neil, back at an interesting spot here, guys, or resistance, I guess, yesterday in the afternoon. We've come all the way back from 21 in the pre-market. They're back to 2010, so watch it for that 2010 area on NIO, guys.
Yeah, that's what I mean, 21 to the, almost to the dime. It did actually break 21, so you can call it a bit of a failed breakout through 21, fake some people in there. Now we broke in the pre-market bottom. Now, dip buying has been a decent strategy on NIO in the past. I'm looking at that 20 level, and if we can hold 20 or some big buyers step up there, that could be the place worth defending. All the way from Tesla, a big name on our watch list, which is going to be my best stock possibly of the day. We'll see what happens. Over to a tiny one. I did get back into this penny stock loan just in front of 50 cents. Sometimes mentally what you want to do is treat it a 50-cent stock like it's 5 or 50, and that way you have some reasonable expectations. I want to see if I can take this one for a 40 break. Down to about the mid-30s here on a secondary trade. But I'm not going to let this trade go past about 47, 48, not all the way to that 50 level.
73.27. Yeah, I was just looking here. 73.24, so 73 even. We'll dump some of our Chewy trade off, but a big win there on Chewy for sure. Walmart still bouncing around, man. We were going to give it all the way to 148.50. I'm actually debating this break right now at 149.25 on Walmart, looking like a possibility to get going. Look, I love this stock. We've talked about it a couple times here today, needless to say. But yeah, no, maybe not. Too choppy for Walmart today. We still are holding on to some shares, so we'll have a winner if it gets back up to 150 anyways, but we are waiting out for this one to drop. We'll probably get some out here, 149.20 if we can, just to absorb some of that hit, but right now we're looking for that kind of a break, 149.26. Get out some when it breaks, then we hopefully get out the rest up here and take back some of that money. But DraftKings making moves to the downside as well. We did get out, but now it's coming back. So we're right at that same level, $40.50. So that could be a breaking spot there for that DraftKings as well. So get ready if you're still long. I still like the long. I just had to get out, had too many shares.
Yeah, before we go to Brendan here, just worth noting, Rocket finally catching a bit of a bounce, coming halfway up to that 33.50 market that was sort of pre-market resistance earlier on. I just put in an order for a 34.50 break. If it ever gets up there heading into earnings tonight, maybe there's a breakout and some shorts get punked through that price level. It's got to hold above 33.50 to show some actual strength to jump into a long in front of the high. I'm not going to take it unless we're holding some consolidation or I see some actual real buying in front of that level. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Big move down for Amarin, guys. AMRN 17% to the downside, $6 here. Recent lows. Below that, this thing's in big time trouble. So AMRN, there was a patent dispute filed for one of their drugs, guys.
Amarin,
okay.
Here comes Walmart right back down. Yeah, we'll look at AMRN for sure. Here comes Walmart right back down to this kill spot here of 148.33. Futures did make a drop. I think we could try to go a little bit long down here and then use this as the bottom, 148.30. So let's get a few more shares long, and then we'll use 148.30 as a drop spot there.
Yeah, you guys talked about SPAC, and I didn't even have it on my quote board anymore. I threw it back in. It took out a 14.60 level, which, when I went over to the daily chart, you did have a possible breakout through that price, immediately pulling back in, and then I see it bounce off of, higher low from the pre-market bottom, higher low from the opening range low, and then on the way back up. And unfortunately, I couldn't get anything in the low 1420s. I just picked it up at 1429. I will take some more in front of these lows. If it can hold 14, I think we make a run to 15 today. It's got great momentum going into it. So got to hold the bottom first, but new position alert on SPAC. Brendan, what do you have?
Downside, guys, watch Lyft shares moving sharply lower here. There's rumors floating around that major shareholder Rakuten will liquidate 10% of their stake in the company. So straight to the downside since the open here for Lyft this morning, guys.
Rakuten has 10% of Lyft. Okay. A little bit of a surprising move there. Okay, here goes Walmart. We did get some out there. We took a shot, and we meant to take this shot. It's not a big loss or anything like that. We just thought maybe Walmart could get going, but these futures, man, they keep cracking downwards. I mean, look at Apple. Big move down on Apple today. 132, opened 138 all the way. I mean, not really. It opened up, it tanked into the open, but we opened up around I guess that's pretty close. 137.50. Now 132 and change. Looking to maybe get some shorts if we can get back up here into the 133-ish level. But yeah, not looking like a good little trade here for anybody long Apple. Now down 1.5%. I can't remember the last time Apple was even down more than the market. So we'll wait to see here today. It looks like maybe they're turning this over on Apple. So yeah, no surprise. It's up huge. It's been up 4 or 5% a day the last couple days. So we'll wait, 3 or 4%. We'll wait to see now what it does. And it just looks like it's having a hard time getting its feet back into it. So maybe 132.50 if you really liked Apple.
Guys, one of the reasons why you gotta get that watch list is there's so much going on here. You'll see how many names are on that list, and obviously trading in Tesla is going to take up a lot of my attention when we have a trade on like the one we had earlier. It was a great trade, fantastic, but we did mention Peloton as well. You know the move it's made the last few sessions. 90 was the short. I mean, it gave it to you off the open. It gave it to you on the pullback. It's going to be hard for me. I have a limit for how many of the higher flyer names will trade at the same time. It's never more than a couple. I just feel like it can be a little bit tricky, especially off that open. I just won't do it. But great short opportunity. It's gone now in Peloton. But if you if you had the watch list, if you followed along from 9 to 9:30, this is one you certainly could have had. I'm not saying it's as good as some of the other shorts we've seen today, but definitely solid. And Peloton's been strong. Sometimes when that profit taking comes in, you want to be prepared and take advantage of it. Getting back over to Rocket, did not hold that 33.50 area. So look, we're just not seeing enough strength to be a buyer down here yet. I'll still have my breakout if it ever gets to 34.50. So any kind of a move up could trigger me in that range. But otherwise, if there's consolidation above this mark, I would like to pick some up on top of that 50 level. It just doesn't feel like it's got the strength. Could be an afternoon play. Maybe we'll be patient on it. It's only 10 o'clock, guys. Lots of time for some of your trades, some of your levels to come through.
Yeah, a big time, man. We take another, lots of time. Yeah, 10 o'clock. Wow. Even that first half hour seemed like it went by really quick. Okay, so a big win there on DraftKings. We could talk about that. We rolled the dice a little bit on this 40-50 number there. We did take a long and never really went against it. It went 25 cents against us. Rips up there. We get some out at 41. Then we go long again at 41. So right now, you're going to see us long 41.05 here on DraftKings. And again, MJ is in the building on this stock. So we'll wait to see if it can get back up to, I don't know. I don't think it gets that back up to here, but if it does 43, it'd be great. VWAP, it's right here, 41.12. We're long that price, so we're on 41.05. It's bouncing around. We're out of the money now, 7 pennies. But the bottom could be all the way down here, 40.20. So we got to give this a little bit of space on DraftKings. I don't know. The price action's not great. I thought we would have ripped up off that break, but we didn't. We resisted VWAP, so this one may be something that we need to drop sooner rather than later because DraftKings, look at the futures here. Not that it's following the futures, but if the market's not going to be strong, you don't need to be long things. So we'll wait to see here on DraftKings, making the move back to the downside, able to cash out some, but not all.
Yeah, and like you said, no need to be long anything. And I had some bottom pick ideas, and we did try on SPAC. It just had a lot of strength. I thought it was going to be worth it, and I do jump into it. It immediately takes out that bottom, so we're out of SPAC. It breaks that little pre-market low. We'll see what happens here. Ultimately, it could come back, but I took a couple of shots to get myself that average price that I wanted in that 14, low 20 range, and then it just broke down that 90. So we'll lose that 30 pennies plus on SPAC. I thought I had upside all the way to 15. No mas, but Tesla, wow, 440 we're looking at right now. There's a psychological level back from before the split, Sean, 350. Yep. Just worth noting, that was the absolute bottom. On the way up, it was a breakout price because that's when some of their debt, convert to shares, blah 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 blah, was break even for them. And then on the way back down, and I can't show you on our charts unfortunately, but on the way back down, Tesla 350 was the absolute bottom back when the market crashed because of coronavirus. So psychologically, if we ever see that, I think it's worth just going ham, as the kids say.
As the kids say, yeah, those darn kids. Okay, DraftKings making moves back down. So, yeah, we're going to see if we can't pick up some more shares down here and then use something like this as our bottom once again. I mean, I don't want to get stopped out here, but I don't know. DraftKings just turned on a dime there. I'm hearing some talk about AMD just falling down, 89 and change. Look, I mean, this is profit-taking days, guys. I mean, the market's just so heated, especially in these tech names. It's funny because, thank you, Ms. V, we wore our NASDAQ mask today, and you can see what's happening to some of these infamous NASDAQ names, like an AMD, like an Apple. We can go over to Netflix and see what Netflix is doing today. Although, if the virus is getting bad, Netflix can be a good stock to run to. But look at this. This stock even falling down another 3%. So today could be the death of the tech sector, and that probably means Tesla, and there goes Tesla as well.
The funny thing is I just was this morning was reading an article, of course, talking about somehow how call buying is sort of changed the move up in tech. And the flip side of that is if you have a lot of dealers that were hedging all of that with obviously buying some of the indexes, buying all that tech space, when it unwinds and some of those hedges get unwound, you might see selling. I'm not saying this is what's happening today. Just there's always the other side to that coin. And, ultimately, the NASDAQ is down 0.3% right now, Sean.
Yeah.
The ES is actually still positive. So, yes, we're headed downside. I find myself, and this is what I do, I like to short small caps. I like to short penny stocks. It's just a comfortable place to be. But the only thing I've had on is like on one end of the spectrum, Tesla short, and another end of the spectrum, loan to the south side. Those two have worked, so sort of sticking to what I'm good at. But every bottom pick has been a fail so far, and it's just these two which are holding up my day. Obviously, Tesla was a monster. You don't always get moves like that, but I'm happy with this loan trade. I sort of gave you a couple of cracks at this one, and I've shorted now 3 or 4 times. Look, penny stocks are penny stocks for a reason, and if you find a level to work off of to the south side, the buying usually dies down when you get these moves up. I'm going to start working out of this one a little more heavily. I gave you 42 as a target, not because I love the number. That's a ridiculous reason to get in or out of a position, but just because it was a range hold in the pre-market, and then held it on the opening. So when it breaks here, I'm going to start to aggressively get out, 40 the next level down. And then I said to you guys, mid-30s ultimate target here. First short was in front of 50, then in front of 50 again. Now we're in front of 45, 46. We'll see if this one works as well. Shorting it all day long, hopefully.
Yeah, and we tried another trade on Walmart there, and unfortunately got taken out basically at the bottom. So let's see if we get a little bit more here on Walmart. We'll get back in right now, 145.98 here on Walmart. So we'll see if it can make its move back up. But this just keeps on falling, man. I mean, all of these stocks, like Neil just said, and like I said about 10 minutes ago as I was getting long, or 5 minutes ago, we don't want to be long too many shares here today, but we are stuck long on Walmart, and we got DraftKings as well. But for right now, we'll throw it back over to the big screen with our man, Brendan Wiggins.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock, 30 minutes gone already. Let's have a look at North American markets here. S&P 500 still in positive territory, 0.4%. Look at the Dow back in charge here. The Dow 0.6%, kind of lagged everything yesterday, but back in positive territory. The NASDAQ we saw, if you joined us at 9 o'clock, was leading, completely reversed, now negative, but trying to get back to break even. The Russell also negative. Here in Toronto, the TSX just positive, 0.14%. A little bit of negativity back in Brazil as well. They've had quite a run over the past week or so down on the BOVESPA. Big deal, big news anyways this morning, guys. Rogers here in Canada with a $10.8 billion offer to acquire Cogeco, CGO.TO, up 30% on that news. It's a high-price stock, not doing a heck of a lot of volume. It hasn't been approved yet, or a lot of regulatory issues going to happen with this deal. But yeah, CGO up 30%. Rogers trying to buy Cogeco here in Canada. Here's RCI. Rogers, nice move higher there on that news, 55 bucks up to $58 for RCI.B if you want to have a look at that one. We'll shift over one more time, maybe. There we go. Some of the cannabis names to the downside, a little bit of weakness offsetting some of the strength, though, for the TSX guys. But otherwise, we're trying to get back to positive. Back over to you.
Like, that is like the greatest news I've had today, because I am a big Rogers stakeholder. I didn't even realize that. The only reason I buy stocks over there in the TSX is for the dividend, and Rogers is like 5 or 6%. So nice to see that move today. So yes, sir, that's a good one. All right, Walmart back long, 146.07. We're gonna see if we can get this to get back now a little bit of that money that we've lost on Walmart. It's been a good day today, but 41 executions, probably too many for you on Walmart. So we'll get this one going back upside now, probably a little bit oversold. So we're going to cash out. There it is. Nice little 70-cent win there on Walmart. So we'll catapult ourselves, but this needs to go. We need to get this thing back up here. 147. I like that little level here, 147.50. It just bounced off my out. So let's get a little more out. Maybe that was exact, and then we'll watch out. But DraftKings heading southbound, Neil. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, another name. I'm going to get to Twitter in a second, because Brendan had showed the move up that it had made, and I just picked some back up 41.60. It's got a 25 area and a 41 even area worth watching. So it's basically flat right now, but look and see if it can't regain some of that strength. Zoom, look at this pullback, 425. Retesting this 425 level here, it's down 7.5%. But this feels like a possible little scalp breakout if you can get like a 425 break. It's already put in a bottom range. It's double tapped it. It's now trying to double tap the top. If I'm going to look for any kind of a momentum bottom pick, why not take a shot at Zoom through 425? If it is a sell-off today, obviously I do think it's going to be unlikely that we get back to that 440 range, but we can scalp that maybe from 25 to 30. That's the next trade I'm looking at. Did get into Twitter. It's still flat right now, 41.60 the entry price.
Why people are talking about Microsoft, and that's my favorite stock, and another big holding, and I haven't even looked at it yet today, because we've been looking at Walmart, DraftKings, Macy's, and Chewy. Chewy, a big stock today. We'll look at Chewy in a minute. That's my biggest winner today. We'll have a look to see what it's doing right now, probably on a pullback. Okay, Microsoft is up. It's nice to see stronger than Apple, stronger than everything else today. Microsoft keeping that high spot there. I want to wait on TikTok news. I still think Microsoft gets it, so we'll wait to see if that's going to come through or not. I thought there was supposed to be, maybe Brendan can find out about this, because I thought there was supposed to be some TikTok news like yesterday.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something coming today. I don't know if ByteDance wants to sell this thing or not, but apparently they have to. So we'll wait to see if there's going to be some news on that.
Well, the government of China probably has something to say about it. I think changing some of their rules regarding technology being exported, I think that might probably holding things up, because maybe they don't sell at all. That's the flip side of it. But Walmart, I mean, they have a heck of a lot going for them without TikTok, in my opinion. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that just gives Walmart a big valuation if they can somehow get TikTok. So we'll hold a little bit of long, not for that reason, but we will hold some Walmart long regardless at this point. As now it's getting back to even on the day here. Walmart, we are long 146.21. Unfortunately, I got wicked out down here, but we did take some shares back. Just wish that never had happened, and then we wouldn't have to worry as much about this position, because we'd be in the cash money. What's up, Beep?
Another one moving here, guys. Nautilus. NLS in New York up 6%. Number of upgrades on this one this morning as well. We did get as high as 16 up there, almost 16. Came right back through 15 here, trying to get back to 15. So big time level on the daily time frame. Yeah, nothing on Microsoft or TikTok for that matter as of yet. Remember, they said possibly news coming as soon as Tuesday. So I guess nothing happened as of yet, guys.
All right.
Yeah, I want to jump quickly back to Macy's, which, initially it had a bit of a break. I wanted to see what happened in 775 area. It rolls right over at 780. I mean, you talk about pullbacks. This is getting a little bit intense in Macy's, and I think one of the things that was good, at least for me in a few weeks ago, 635 was just a fantastic area of support on Macy's. I'm not saying we get there, about 50 pennies away from it right now, but sort of worth noting. Any kind of formation it makes, probably in this range, the chop range from earlier on, late last week and earlier on this week, 660 to 675. It's trying to bounce off that right now. Obviously, it was solid earnings. They're selling the news here. The market's trying to hold up, teetering on that positive. So I watch the ES more when you're talking the retail space. But I'm watching this 675 area. If we can hold that, I might take a bit of a bottom pick. I got one on in Twitter. the market's trying to hold up. So it is tough sledding. It hasn't broken down on me here, holding that 41.50 area. So my 60 long looks good. Ignore loan. It's going to be a winner as long as we hold below that 50-cent mark. I mean, it might just sell off all day long, and penny stocks, that's what they do. But Twitter to the long side, and I'm thinking now about Macy's if we can get into this 60 to 75 range and then bounce back up, show a little bit of strength, and then I'll jump into this one. Not to say I want a bottom pick, but it was a strong report, and it's had some support in the past below $7.
Yeah, we're going to have to drop, unfortunately, there it is. DraftKings just breaks through, so we did get out there on that little bit of a break through to the downside on DraftKings. So we flush ourselves in the hole there because we did take one more shot here. That was at 39.70, and it breaks 39 now to the downside. And I talked about that on DraftKings, that this was not going to be big enough news. And I was just joking about the Washington Wizards and things like that with Jordan. Jordan's fantastic, but I mean, I don't know. That doesn't change the landscape of DraftKings. I mean, he's just on the board. That's really nice. I mean, if people start hearing about that, maybe they buy it, but we're already up 5%. We were up 11 or 12% up here. And that's why you got to join us at 9 o'clock, because on our watch list was DraftKings. We reviewed it with you. We talked about why we liked it, why we didn't like it, and some key levels. So I thought we found some key levels here at 40. So I was starting to mess with it, but it does fall down. And look, $1 hit. We'll take $1 hit. It was well worth the risk on this name. But DraftKings, I still want to go long through 39.50, but right now it's just having a hard time. So it's flushing some of these investors out right now, but I think it can still get going. So we'll try DraftKings on a bump. And before I throw it back to Neil here, I just want, okay, there goes NVIDIA to the downside. So I just wanted to say that we were looking at NVIDIA, and I did like NVIDIA if it did break back above 572. But look at the futures, man. We just keep on falling down. So that's why we've dumped a lot of our a lot of our longs, and now we're going to start looking short. But this market right now, not even negative, just has a very negative feel to it.
Yeah, well, loan still has a negative feel to this one. I did pick this up several times. You see a lot of executions here. It's a different style of trade. It's 18 million shares. I did take a few entries at that 44 range when I talked about the third short that we had. It just tried to break 40 even. I just took some more out in front of that price. Once it breaks 40, this will be the last leg of the trade for me. I'll look to see if I can get momentum down into the mid-30s. If it retraces all the way to yesterday's close and gives 100% of the move back, I'll probably be all the way out. Time to get to Brendan. He's got something for us. What do you got, buddy?
One yesterday, guys. PagerDuty out with earnings. I think it was actually before the market opened this morning. That were actually decent. If you remember, though, big gap up yesterday ahead of earnings. They're selling this off, though, after the gap to the upside. So down 5% for PD, PagerDuty. Mentioned that one yesterday. Valeria's watching what is moving over in Europe. V, what's up?
Hey, Brandon, Unilever is up more than 2%. As it said, it would spend more than 1 billion euros to eliminate fossil fuels from its cleaning products by 2030. Back to you.
Yeah, Unilever listed all over the place. Amsterdam, London, there's a few other ones over in Europe. You can trade it here in the US as well, guys. Unilever moving today.
Intel. Oh, okay, I see some news there. And thank you, Mr. Wheelie Man. Oops, I just blew that up too much. Here it is, Mr. Wheelie Man. Thank you so much. And again, memberships, very important, as well as subscribers. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like, hit that join, and definitely share the show. I mean, that's the big thing for us right now. We'd like to have you guys share it, get as many eyeballs on this show as possible. But look at Apple today. Today, it's Woodshed Day for Apple investors. You are getting taken there. But again, it's just back to where we were yesterday. If you zoom back out, I can't zoom out because we have those bad prints. But yesterday, about 134, we did crack that aftermarket low or high yesterday, and then now we're dealing with 130 and change. I just put in an order to go long if we get above this level, 132. We did stop out at 128, backed up $4. So do I think that we can get back up here? Of course, it's Apple, but we need that motivation and that momentum to get going. So 130.80, we'll take a little bit of a tester right here if we can get back to that level, and then we'll go even more long if we can get to 132, but I have a feeling we should be looking short, not long.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a bit of that sense too as well, but I did take the shot here in Twitter, and again, it's had a bit of a top end range, and I look at this, on the daily chart, 41.50 with support down at 40. The breakout today, a little bit of a pullback. I do catch them on the way up, so I feel a little bit better about this, but this will be like the third type of a bounce long that we'll be taking when really hanging on some of the shorts was going to be worth it. Now, ultimately, as long as you stick to your rules and have tight stops or take your losses where they are, then I can have a monster on Tesla and a monster on loan, and it doesn't really matter. I could probably lose on like 8 in a row, but you still have to stick to your rules. I'm going to cover some of this Twitter no matter what in front of 42. I'll cover some more in front of the high of the day. I'll make a decision point. If it ever gets to that 42.14 top, maybe it's worth re-entering. But on a weekday, you better believe I'm going to cover this for a winning trade in front of the high and not anticipate it has to break it. It is already 10-10. Let's get some upgrades and downgrades. Let's go to Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, a few interesting names on this list today. Let's have a look at upgrades over here, downgrades on that side. So much to look at today. We didn't get to the airlines. Some of the airlines under pressure on a few downgrades today. This one as well, Teladoc, actually got multiple upgrades, price target increases, but you can see big time negativity on Teladoc. NVIDIA, the big one, obviously on the upside, and Mosaic, not a lot of volume. I was kind of disappointed with the look of Mosaic's chart, but moving lower. Yeah, NVIDIA, the big one, obviously upgraded UBS and Goldman Sachs, but straight back to the downside here for NVIDIA, trying to bounce at this point. AAL under pressure, not a huge move here, but 13 ended up being a level from the pre-market, so resistance at 13 came all the way down to 1260. They're trying to hold at 1260, guys. Some of the airlines under pressure today. Back to you.
Okay, so we're in DraftKings. Good look there. We go to the airlines again. Trump yesterday talking about bailing them out a little bit. I don't know how far that went. But right now we are long again on Apple. Good little winner there. We took it here long at 130.40. Then we took it again at 80. And now we're at 131 in change. We'll take some 132s. But there we go, Apple right now. A nice little win. We'll explode some money on that one. And we do have DraftKings. You can see all the positions. Walmart turning around now as well, making moves to the upside. We are still long that. So 31-cent win here, flat on this trade, and then 20 cents on Apple with looking at 131 and just kind of keeps resisting this break. So let's get out a little bit more and then see what happens on a 131 break.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a bit of a backflip here. And if you can go long in the market today, I think pick your spot. You're going to be happy. I did pick out Twitter. Got that little break to the downside, of course. And when it tried to get back through what was the breakout in that pre-market high, that's where I wanted to get in. I wanted to maybe catch some more shares at the bottom. Unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately didn't give me another entry, because that means it went in the money before going against this guy. So I will take most of it out. 2/3 already done in front of that 42. As I said, it was part of the plan. And I will cover this entirely in front of that 42.14 high. So the max I'll make on the last third is about a 40 to 50 cent win before then revisiting what will happen here through the top end break. Twitter looking relatively strong today. Still up 2% on the session. On a short day, on a day where the market's heading down, you got to pick your spots, and I feel like Twitter was a good place to put that money in. Let's see if we can't get out 42 to 42.10 before this one might roll over at that high of day, guys.
All right, here we go. Nice little trading on Apple as well. Big time out there taken. So it's too bad I can't. Actually, maybe I can zoom in a little bit more for you guys here. We were protecting this 130 level a bit. In and in, out, out, out now as we continue to go. We'll wait for 132 and change. You can see the futures are coming back to the upside. So DraftKings making that money back a little bit here as it continues to go upside right now. 39.90. This is where we're long on DraftKings. 39.50 on a little bit of a break. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think we get back up here again. It's a big move, up 8% now, 7.5% upside on DraftKings. Resisted this level just a couple times. Should have got them all out there if I really would have noticed, but we have gotten out of more than half right now, so good trading on that one. Walmart as well now back to the upside. This is an 80-cent win that we have on board, so a good little trade there on Walmart as we go, but right now we got Brendan once again.
For anyone, guys, watching this NNVC, nanoviricides, there's a presentation going on right now in regards to their COVID-19 vaccine. So they're just updating how that progress is going. So if you see this huge volume spike just coming in here on NNVC, that is why. Tread lightly if you are trading that one, guys.
I paid for shorts because of this one, Brendan. The last time I got caught trading during it, trying to catch a rollover, I feel like if you find out exactly when they stop making the presentation so that I can know it's safe to go short, I'll definitely try that. But look, it's all about watching some levels here. I do have written down an NVC about a 435 to 450 area. It's already broken through that. If you go to the daily chart, it's not going to give you a heck of a lot. There was some support in around 5 even.
What is going on?
And there was a breakdown at that price as well. So that even 5 is all I'm going to be watching in case it gets up there and rolls over. I would love for the presentation to be over. You don't want, if I'm not sitting here watching it or listening, I don't know what's being said. And that's kind of trading blind. So hopefully when it's done, we can take advantage. I can tell you Twitter all the way up to that high day. Sometimes you have a plan and it works out for you, and you can go with the cash cow animation. If it ever, there it is. A little slow on my deck there, but there is a cash cow. I like it.
There's a cash cow.
Twitter to the upside. We just got some out there. We talked about the 50-cent win. We end up getting 56 pennies. 46 cents on that one. Just shy of that 50 penny winner. If it breaks through the high of day, I don't love the breakout in a weak market. I might take it for smaller shares. I'd love a pullback into VWAP. Buying the dip feels a little bit safer on this stock if we can get some consolidation. But top end break, I'll round it to 15s and take a small shot.
Yeah, and there we go. And there's a little bit of bang happening right now, because look at this, what we have on board right now. Apple, 80-cent win, was just over $1. We took that. DraftKings, big time win as well, 33.40 cents now in the money on DraftKings. Macy's, we just go long again on Macy's right now. Let's see how high this one wants to go. That's a big position. And then Walmart, another 70 cents. So 4 positions on, we're all long, and they're all moving in the money right now. So this is my biggest spot right on now. Macy's on this little bit of a retrace back upside. So let's see how high this one wants to fly, and we're going to get some shares out here on Macy's that just keeps going up. Out there at 18, good out. Got to be fast on the keys right now. Apple ripping up, Donkey Kong, everything going in the money nicely right now for us.
Yeah, and Twitter does take the top off. Like I said, we'll go smaller than we had in the original long, taking the top. 17 we got slipped to. So let's see if it wants to hold the high end of this range. It's been a strong move to the upside, but the market isn't even all the way back. So you got to temper your expectations just a little bit here. I want to get you guys back over to Tesla. Ignore all of these wicks. It is back above that 450 mark. Trying to hold what I'm calling like VWAP to 450. If we break out of this, maybe Tesla's got a bit of a rebound. 470 would be any target for any kind of a long. Of course, that was the breakdown, 470 to 475, where we had our short. Brendan, what do you got for us?
News on this one a couple of days ago, guys. If you remember, Vivo Power, VVPR, just popping back up here. Big time volume took this thing right up to 1040, which was this high from a couple of days ago. Actually took it out, but right back down here for VVPR. Not seeing anything in addition to what we heard 2 days ago for VVPR, but right back down.
Yeah, I'm looking at this NNVC, and it's really tempting here. I'm going to stress here, obviously a presentation is being made on this stock, but it really feels like if it drops below this 435, which was the bottom end of my target range, I want to be in the short. I'm going to try to be disciplined here and not take that breakdown, simply because I am trading a bit blind. But wow, does that look like a nice tight little range here that I can take the short on. It's up 12%, sort of running out of steam, and I feel like that's a selling point for us.
6.97 here on a Macy's dump down. We'll get out of some if it breaks back below 7 here, but we're still cruising on that stock and not worried about that at all. Just going to cancel some of those orders there on Macy's for the upside. Okay, yeah, Walmart hasn't been great. That's for damn sure. We've been going long, but we were able to buy some back again down here and now cashing those out a little bit. We just took them out at 147 and change, but yeah, Walmart's been meh today, that's for sure. We'll wait to see if Apple can break through again right now. We're buying this high when we do get it at 32, but that doesn't mean it can't go. So right now we are long 130 and change. Nice little 70-cent win for us on Apple. We have been cashing some out there, 131.80, good trade. We'll cash some more out right now, but DraftKings falling back down. That's why, guys. Look, we started dumping everything again. So we're not going to hold this name. We talked about it. It has the momentum today. 23 million shares to the upside, DraftKings today. But it's just been a crazy one. I have over 40 trades, fills, 36 trades on DraftKings today, and it's just coming back to the downside right now. So we got to watch out for this 39 and change level. That's where we'll dump this, but I might just get out of the rest here and not bother to hold this thing. It's not moving.
Yeah, I want to jump you guys back over to Rocket. So I still sort of have the same idea. I want to see that 33.50 before I go to the long side. Yeah, I mean, Brent, I am watching NNVC. I'm just trying to hold off on making an aggressive trade while the presentation is still going on. It feels a little bit reckless, and I've been burned in the past doing that, both earnings calls and some of these presentations. But I am still looking at this 33.50 area on Rocket. If we can get up there, yeah, I know it's making a higher low right now. I just don't want to. I'd rather join the party late and be right than make a gamble when we're still showing some weakness, trying to get an extra 30, 40 pennies out of a move. So it's still going to give me to that 34.50. So there's 50 cents to $1 worth of upside on a 50 break. That's what I'm going to hold out for on Rocket. I have my order sort of locked and loaded and ready to go on that. And it's going to be binary. Either it does it and I get in, or I might not be long that one all day long. It is time for the small cap recap. Let's go to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, let's touch on a few small caps that were moving around in the pre-market. We talked about this one. TSRI, big move up on news aftermarket yesterday. $6 and then $6.20 to the upside was a little bit of an area, both in the aftermarket yesterday and resistance here in the pre-market this morning. So give you a nice opportunity in front of that $6.20 to be short, all the way down to $5.20. So a nice look there, 25 cents of risk kind of thing, all the way down to $5.20 was the low down there on the way out. Really quickly going to sleep though, just be careful, volume dying off if you're still involved in that TSRI. The next one, yeah, Kodak. We kind of forgot about Kodak this morning. Had a huge flush off of the open all the way down to 670. Has to stay below this low from yesterday, 520. 720 was the low from yesterday. So if it does get back above 720, got to revisit that idea. But watch Kodak, guys, still doing a little bit of volume after the move yesterday. AMC, yeah, it squeezed you on the initial move to the upside here. Nice opportunity long above the 720, but just using the 720, 725 now, which was this pivot from the pre-market on AMC, guys, still lots going on.
Yeah,
I mean, how gorgeous is that 720 breakdown on Kodak? And if it comes back up there, I might take a chance at a rollover with like a 20-25 stop. Wow, that looks fantastic when you go back to yesterday's bottom. So should have had it, but I'm going to take my try in Kodak. I love shorting that stock. It is what it is. So 725. If it rolls over from here, I'll take a 7 breakdown using 20 to 25 as an out on Kodak.
Okay, so there it goes, Apple. Nice big win. We finally slaying this dragon. Apple, one of my biggest stocks today for sure. Apple and Chewy. Look at this, man. Long here, 130. Long again right now and getting some out as we go. So Apple, the big trade here for me. So really happy with the way that one's worked itself out. Finally making some money on that. But watch out, man. The futures came all the way back. So that's a big monster move, man. 33 up to 47. That's like taking care of the whole day here in one move. So Apple, we're going to dump some. That's why we're not getting super, holding on to something for too long here. I think this is a good one. Brendan, give us something quick.
Talked about SPAC in the pre-market, guys. SPAQ, this is the other one, the Helion. SPAC, SHLL to the upside today as well. On decent volume, had a nice run up into the close yesterday. This SHLL, guys, all the way to $56 now. What a move this thing's had from way back here at $19 in a couple of weeks, just straight higher, guys.
Yeah, and worth noting on your chart there, you do have the opening range, which is about to be tested. That's at 57. It's trying to roll over at a higher low here. A lower high, I should say. And if it does do that, I'm going to take my shot at it. It's 10-13%. There's a couple of levels you can work from here, and it's made some parabolic moves a couple of days in a row. So if I can catch something probably a little bit closer to the 55 half to 56 range, you're seeing it roll right now. It does give you $1 to $2 at least and a pullback for you into some support. Of course, as I say, it goes to the downside. Great look there, Brandon, but I needed a better price. I want to see something closer to that 56 so I have a reasonable stop. I do want to jump you back over to what has been easy going. And as I say that, probably I'm going to curse myself here. I talked about the mid-30s on loan. I shorted it multiple times. You can see all the executions on the way down. I don't have much left. I am looking, they just got to 35 right now. So I'll probably cover it all in the next few minutes if it gives me some consolidation. Might leave some on for an ultimate breakdown to 27 where it closed before. It just feels like on a day like today, how can you go wrong shorting a penny stock that was up like 60-70% and couldn't find any kind of a bid? I'm telling you, there was no bid when it broke 50. It was a slight bid at 45 that couldn't hold. It's just been a straight shot shorting, big time retracement play. There's a pattern that I love, and executing it on a penny stock that has a setup is about as easy as it's going to get for me. So loan over on the NASDAQ. Kudos to Sean for what I thought was a good-looking mask there, although you can't really tell it's a NASDAQ mask.
What?
Because it's like they have the N. They don't really have, is NASDAQ even written anywhere? It's just
the symbol.
It's a symbol.
Yeah, it's a symbol.
Unless you're like a stock freak like us, the average person wouldn't know that that's
No,
NASDAQ.
of course not.
Right, that's all I'm saying. So
But
it's a great-looking mask, though, I think.
That's why we wear it, because we're not average. We know what NASDAQ is, guys. So NASDAQ leading the way. Look, the one trade that I did not put on that I should have, that I canceled, was NVIDIA. And we're talking about the NASDAQ. I liked it through. I told you guys, I gave you, if you can hit the rewind button, I don't know where it is. We'll hit the pants down right now, though. But we talked about 572 right here on that break. And what a great break that was. That never even went against against you. Like you take that 472 break, you do all the way up here, 476. You probably would take some out at VWAPs. That's a $3 or $4 winner. Let me know in the chat if anybody did have that. We did get out of our Apple there as it does fall back down with 131.50, but that's okay. We cashed out. Like I said, we're right there, 132.50, right where this sort of consolidation was. That was the plan of action. Always feels good, like Neil mentioned there, when a plan hits. So good trade on Apple for sure. And I did see someone in the chat there talking right here. I want to say what's up to once again another member here, Jeremiah Hatcher. Good call on that Apple trade, 127.50. Yeehaw! Nice trade, buddy. Up $4 or $5 on that one already. If you did get out of that, congratulations. If not, maybe you want to hold. I don't know. But good trade for there, Jeremiah Hatcher. And guys, make sure. I don't know if it's on my coming up. Let's see if that works for me. We have Arun on the picture today. Yes, there it is. Arun, trading futures. Part 2. So if you missed part 1, that's on our Market Wisdom channel. Make sure you do check that out. But I'm going to check out what Brendan has to say right now.
Guys, a little bit of a U.S. tie to this Rogers Cogeco deal that I was talking about at 10 o'clock there. ATUS, which is Altus. So this is Altus USA, ATUS.NY up 4% here. They are actually in on this deal. So it's Rogers and Altus teaming up with this $10.8 billion offer for Cogeco in Canada. So ATUS in New York, one to look at.
Is that are they putting cash in that ATUS or are they putting in stock, Brendan? I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, but when I see that chart on ATUS and it looks like it might roll over, if they're throwing cash at that puppy, that'll give me a little bit more of a reason to dump on this at like 28.70 on a rollback here. I do like the opportunity on sort of cash deals, taking a look and seeing if there is some sell action, and then just jumping into some momentum to the downside. You often see the gap up, and then you realize the price tag, and then it comes back in. I like to take advantage of it, but I want to make sure there's cash going in. I still have that order for Zoom. I'm just watching it back up through 420, testing that 425 area. If it gets up there, that's the way I'm going long. And it's a similar thing with Rocket. I'm trying to wait for it to show a little bit more strength before I jump into this one. It is back and then testing this 33 area. 33.50 is going to be my entry on that one. Loan, I've trailed it to 38. It can't be anything worse than 44 to about 38, 39. So a solid win on that one. On the last little bit. And thanks for the super chat there, Jeremiah Hatcher. Brendan's got something for us. What do you have, bud?
Okay, so this is a little bit complicated, but we're going to get through this. Just bear with me here. So Altus USA is interested only in Cogeco's U.S. operations. So what's going to happen, or what they want to happen, is Altus will buy Cogeco and then turn around and sell the Canadian operations to Rogers for $4.9 billion. So the entire deal is worth $10.8 billion, but there's a lot of moving parts. So it doesn't actually state whether it's going to be cash or stock or a combination of both. Guys.
Yeah, that might be good for ATUS. Look, obviously, we enjoy all the support. We shouted out the super chat, but I'm going to put you on the spot here, Valerius. Sorry, hopefully the guys can get a good look here. How are we doing? You guys liking this? We've had good winners on Apple with Sean Tesla over here. How are we doing for likes and stuff? I know we crossed the 75,000 already. That's come and gone.
Actually.
We try to get to 1,500 likes, not 1,000, so where are we at?
I'm so glad you asked. We're just 140 likes away from 1K likes, and our goal is no less, as you said, 1.5K. So could you please ask traders to destroy the like button?
I will ask traders on your behalf to hit like button, lightly tap it. Don't destroy a button that you want to use. That
destroy
doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense to me. We'll see what happens there. And of course, you know what? Anytime this happens to you, you've got to immediately get out. And this is going to be one of those where you pay the price. Depending on which stop orders you use, and I can tell you in our system, on something like a Zoom, you can use two different stops. One of them is going to be triggered by any print in the time and sales, or you can use one that'll be triggered sometimes by the level 1 or level 2 price. This little wick up here triggered my 425 and I get long. I have to dump the position. I end up losing $1.50 on the trade. I'm not happy about it, but I didn't want the long till it got to the upside, got triggered by a bad wick. Just immediately take it off, guys, because if I hang on to it, I'm now looking at like $2, $3 out of the money. I'm like, oh, maybe there's support at 416. Yeah, well, that's nice. If it breaks and you miss that, you've thrown away cash. I didn't intend to get long till a 425 break, so I'll use a different stop order next time to make sure that doesn't happen to me again.
Okay, guys, we are in a monster trade here. That's why we've been a little quiet here on Macy's right now. Still moving to the upside. We'll just keep cashing out on this as we keep going upside here on Macy's. Look at this trade, guys. We were long down here, 01s, 02s, 11s and 12s and 9s. We're up to 35 now. So that is a banger. We take out the big stick for Macy's. Great trade. Really happy with the way this one's turning itself out. What up, B?
For anyone watching the energy markets, guys, oil inventory numbers just out there. 1.8 million barrel drawdown expected for crude. It came out 9 million. So 9 million barrel drawdown in crude oil, guys.
Okay, we'll have a look at maybe Exxon and some oil tickers as well as we go. But right now, guys, I am just milking this out right now on Macy's, and it's been just such a monster trade. So Superman right there, really, really got. And I told you, I took out the big stick for this one, and I told you when I did. And then we just went longer there at 32 on that break to the upside as well. So double in here, and then once again now, as this just rides to the upside, Macy's, that's on our watch list, baby. You do want to check that out early and often. DraftKings right now, 20-cent win as well on DraftKings. Look at this bottom pick there at 39.10. Bang! That one out for sure on that. And then Apple, 40 cents. Right now, we're cruising for a bruising, making it all back, baby, as the market comes back to the upside. What a crazy run this market's on right now. I don't know what sparked this, but that's a nice move up, and we're cashing in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just watching Rocket. It can't participate yet, guys. It's just seeming like some sleepy action below VWAP here, 33.20, holding up. They do have earnings after market, so maybe it was sort of like to sell the news. It's been on a rocket the last couple of days. The actual entry I want in Zoom might start to happen if we can get up to that 425 range. Maybe worth a shot of rolling over in a short in front of it. I do also want to jump back over to, let's get back over to Tesla very, very quickly here. It has held 450, but it's very, very choppy action, guys. So holding below VWAP, it feels like to me 55 breakout, and sort of similarly, we had this sort of chop, and it's a little bit lower than that 450 mark, like 448, where you do have a little bit of support forming. So if you catch a break at VWAP, you're kind of risking about $7, which is okay if it gets you to that 470. I apologize for those wicks up there, dark pool prints that do come through, and block prints as well. Looking at 455, very similar idea to what we're looking at in Zoom at 425, guys. So let's see what happens here. Tesla, Zoom, Rocket, all of those I need to see more buying before I jump into that party to the upside, guys. Brennan, what do you have?
Guys, a lot of the strength that we had enjoyed over the past couple of days or even a week at the most was coming from some of the cloud-based names. We talked about DocuSign or some of the work-from-home names as well. We talked about DocuSign yesterday. Consolidating here right at day lows, 265. If you go back to yesterday, a bit of a level. We're under that, consolidating at day lows, looking like it might want to test lower prices here, but DocuSign, another one pushing this market lower, guys.
Sorry, just getting something loaded out here. Yeah, DocuSign. We talked about that stock, and there's some few stocks out there today, Brendan, that are quite nasty, and one of them is that DocuSign, and the other one is FSLY. As we talked about Fastly today. Oh, it's back up a little bit. Okay, it was getting crushed down to 87 and change. That would have been a good one to pick up. But Fastly right now in that, it's a work from home name, so Fastly, they're also involved with TikTok, so that move making a move back downside. I'm long this name at a decent price in the 80s, so good trade. They're not on the show though. I'm looking for a 92.75 break. Wanted to bring Fastly back into the game here for you guys. Macy's, we're out a bunch here, man. This has been such a fantastic trade today for Macy's. Look at this. In early, we don't normally like to take early breaks, but this was a good one. 750 in and all out up here. Great trade. Our last 10%, not so nice. And then right down here, bid at 7, protecting that $7. We gave that to you. Then we went hella long off this break as well at 732, and that's why you see all of these cash outs. So ring in the register right now on some Macy's. DraftKings as well, man. We got out in the 40s. We noticed that, again, this is where we consolidated. So a nice little long down here. And again, it depends on the shares you're taking. If you're only taking a couple shares, then you're probably not going to cash out here. But depending on what you have, you get out, get in, and now we're going to hold this for this break. And look, if it breaks again, then we're out, and we're going to give it up on DraftKings, guys.
Yeah, and just looking at the NNVC, I'm gonna look to see, make sure that they are actually done this little talk that was going on. It did make another move to the upside. This is why you want to wait. Be patient with it. It tested that 5 even area. Now it's rolling over shy of it. That's where I would like to have that short. You can use a 5 stop, 515. The pre-market top on this name. I think we've got a couple of levels of resistance to work off of. These are the shorts that I would like to be able to put on here. Just got to make sure we have the locates on those. I know you guys are talking about whiting. just holding out for a little bit of information on that. My look over on Macy's was around that 750, guys. So if it comes back up through that price, I'm likely to take a bit of a break towards that 75, but I might take one shot also shorting in front of it. But NNVC is back on the radar. I feel confident now that we can use that 5 area to go short. So going to get that loaded in just a few seconds.
All right, so that's it. We're done with DraftKings there. It breaks down back below. So yeah, hide your wife and hide your kids if you're a DraftKings investor. But you're already up a nice little 5% today. But we kept trying the longs here, and 45 fills later, we decided to finally get rid of this thing as now it breaks down below. If I was just short everywhere where I was getting out, yeah, that'd be a nice trade, but I'm not. So, okay, DraftKings is now out and falling through the hole. That's going to be my worst stock today. We did talk about it, and unfortunately, it just didn't get going enough for us early. Wow, Intel. I didn't realize Intel broke back above $50. I love this name. I'm probably going to rotate out of some AMD and into some Intel. And the reason why, look at the daily chart here. If it loads, we broke above this 50 level. I don't know when that happened exactly, but we have broke above the $50 level. And there it is. Bang! Thanks for that super chat right there. If I can move this up, we want to give a big shout out to S8. I don't know. SH, their market wisdom by Trader TV was great this week. You guys are killing it. Hey, man, thanks so much. We take the, if anyone doesn't know our market wisdom page, Valeria, please drop that link. We're doing some more tapings today for our market wisdom, but thank you so much, SH, for that. And that's where all of our education is up. And I'm just going to put this up right now so you guys can understand what we're doing today. Here it is. This is our market wisdom channel. From Arun, Futures Trading Part 2. So you're going to hear from that if you're looking to trade the futures. Why not get some news and information on how to, and just an understanding from that side of things from Arun. But we can't leave Brendan waiting, can we? What's up?
Another earnings name, guys. Caleris, CAL, on the move today, up 15%. Just popped up on a sell volume alert. Huge move to the downside here, coming back to $10. But they reported aftermarket yesterday. You can see CAL, decent earnings here, but just trying to break that high from the aftermarket. Wasn't able to. So big flush there for CAL, guys.
Yeah, definitely going to have a look there. I did get into that NNVC. We talked about this one off of that 5 area top. It rolled over shy of that, like 490 or so. But I was watching this in the pre-market that went to the higher time frame. I identified where we hope the move up would terminate, and that looks like it's trying to happen now. I have 63 and change to the short side here, a couple of entry points. If it rolls through 50, that's where we would look to take some profit off. There was buying, as indicated earlier, 435. I would definitely take a lot of profit in front of that price.
Oops.
And then look for a further breakdown at that 435 mark, probably into this like the 415 bottom that it had in the pre-market. That's a great return. I wouldn't get too much more greedy than that, and then reassess our trade, guys. I do like this roll, but you can't give it past that high. I think that's a little bit reckless. Zoom doesn't feel like it has the juice to that upside that I'm looking for. We'll wait patiently before I take anything to that. You do realize that even in a market that rebounded here, Zoom was one of the more parabolic moves up, so might have some more trouble getting to some of those highs, as opposed to something like an Apple or like your Twitters, which got back rather nicely.
Yeah, 570.24 here. We're going to probably wind up dumping this NVIDIA here as we go. We did take a shot at it. The futures did just drop here. So I thought NVIDIA may come back to VWAP right now. So averaged in, it's not a very heavy trade for us here today, but needs to be a winner anyways, if we can get that. But a break through 570 just to make sure that's where, yeah, 570 and a quarter could come right now. So NVIDIA making that move down. We're going to give it a little bit of space, though, if we can. Thanks for the update, Brendan, there. We got a nice little super chat again. Thank you, Cam. All the updates and cashing the profits out. So that's what Brendan's here to do, guys. Give you the news as he sees it. And that's a good one. Thank you so much for that, Brendan. On Cogeco, on RCI, Altice, all that. Thank you so much. And thanks for that super chat as well, guys. Super chats are nice. We like them. So, yeah, we're going to keep going there. XOM, we just talked about the oil number coming through. XOM right now, 39.50. Yeah, not much happening on this side. The oil number does come out right now. 31.39, up 30 cents about, now making a little bit of a base. So XOM could be good to go here on a breakthrough 39.60. I don't love the oil space, but we are consolidating a little bit. You have a bottom of 39.50, top of 39.60. So always some potential there, but the moves aren't huge in XOM. So you're gonna have to take a little more shares if you want the same kind of profits.
Yeah, just watching Twitter start to come back in. We did take profit around that view up 80 to 90 before. It did break that 42, which got me out of that last little long that we had. Obviously, I'm going to like it around that 50 to 60 where we had the nice winner off the bottom. But for the time being, if we can hold here, VWAP, market stabilizes. Twitter's shown some relative strength for me, and I think that's one of the reasons why I don't think I'll hesitate to jump in. But it has to hold 41.90 price. If it bounces off there, I'll look to get back in maybe at 42. Maybe, hopefully consolidation at this time of day. It's about 11. If you get to like 11 o'clock, you try not to overtrade. You try to be a little bit more picky with some of the prices that you do get. So I do want to see some consolidation in this one. Still have that NNVC short. First leg out will not be until in front of 50, then that 40. More importantly, that 35 break. If that goes, could be the floodgates on NNVC to the southbound area. Brendan is ready with the sector watch. I see a sea of blue, which is green. Let's go to him.
Guys, yeah, let's figure out what is pushing this market higher so far today. 0.6% now for the overall S&P 500. You can see, yeah, nicely positive right across the entire board here. I want to start here. The consumer staples group coming back to life a little bit today. BFB here, 9.2%. KO, 2.5%. LW and Tapestry there as well, 2+% to the upside. You can have a look at some consumer staples. COTY, that little one, the only one kind of offsetting this group, but otherwise nicely positive. Down here, utility stocks also nicely positive on the day. EXC, ED, and FE all 2%. As far as the energy group is concerned, that number did definitely help this group, but we were much more negative than we are right now. Just FANG, that was an earnings name, 3% to the downside, kind of leading the way. As far as negativity is concerned, tech stocks, the big movers today, trying to get back to positive territory. If you joined us at 9 o'clock, we mentioned NASDAQ in the pre-market was leading the way as far as U.S. indexes were concerned. That has changed, obviously. We are back in positive territory here. Just Salesforce, really, the big one to the downside, 3% there for CRM. NOW, 1.4%. PayPal, nice move up yesterday. A little bit of a pullback, 0.8% offsetting an otherwise nicely positive group here. The semiconductors, the big movers so far, NVIDIA, AMAT, Micron, LRCX, all more than 3% to the upside. AVGO having a nice day as well, 2.5%. Healthcare stocks also nicely positive on the day here. CERN, ANTM, and HUM. All among the leaders there, 2.5+% for those as well. So healthcare tech shares making up most of the positivity, offsetting some of the negativity coming from these groups over on the left side, my left side here. Energy material stocks and the little tiny real estate group there down in the corner. Overall, though, 0.62% to the upside for the S&P. Back over to you guys.
It's amazing that the S&P still continues to do this every single day. I mean, we already set records back in August for most positive S&P days in a month. So, yeah, just keeps on going. Despite, you know, whatever people think about the politics there in the U.S., we do have the election coming. So I'm thinking that could be, regardless of who wins, I think that could be a catalyst for possibly a market move down. But, hey, look, I don't know. I mean, I've been trying to short this market in my own account for a while still being long equities. I just think that the market's way overheated, some of these spots. But let's talk about overheated. Macy's out there at 50. Great little out there. We took out the stick for that trade and really happy with the performance there on Macy's today. So we do have Walmart back in the money now, $1 in the money, looking to break through this level, debating taking 147.50 here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with backflips because I can't do them, so we might as well get my one shot to see me perform one of those. I talked about NNVC several times and being very, very patient for the entry. Wanted to see things settle down with the presentation. Want to see selling jump in, fail off a level that you're comfortable with. That already happened. It gave me a consolidation entry in the mid-60s, taking some out in front of 50. And we already got the first leg. It's now testing down to that 35 to 40 area. So I don't know if you're watching that one, Brent, and waited for it. I think when you're short selling, you know you're going counter trend sometimes. It's up 15%. Have a good plan, and it's going to work out usually okay most of the time. That's why I had to sort of fade into this one. Look, it looks very similar in that first consolidation point, but you don't have a big level to work off of where it had a rejection previously. And that's what it's all about here, guys. So if it breaks this 50 mark, we'll get probably everything that we're looking for down to that 35, and hopefully the last quarter out in front of $4 even. I do as I say it, it immediately, literally I just started talking about it and it just broke that 450 there. So next leg down in front of 40s and then 35s. I do want to quickly jump back to NVIDIA. I could celebrate the other quarter that I just got out for a nice little 20-cent win on NNVC. But NVIDIA making another higher low, first off of a ridiculous flush. You guys all saw that. Then the pre-market bottom at 565. And now you're looking at that 570 area that was of some interest before. But it was 575 that I had originally pegged, 75 to 80. If it breaks VWAP, it's going to give you that same range. So a couple of break ideas for NVIDIA, maybe the file away. First, 575. I think it's a little stronger than Zoom in this regard. So much rather take that break than Zoom. And I might actually cancel Zoom to do it in NVIDIA. And then that 580. You scalp the first one into 80s. You take the break at 80. It feels like a little bit stronger of a name to try to pull along off of at this time of day. It doesn't mean Zoom can't happen. Maybe I'll size down on Zoom and then add NVIDIA to the list through a 75 breakup.
Yeah, we're long NVIDIA and $1 in the money right now at 571. So we do have NVIDIA long right now. We just took a $2 and change win on that. So we'll see if it breaks out. We are long NVIDIA right now. $1.20 in the money on this name. So good trade there for us, we think anyways, on NVIDIA. So here it goes, $1.30. Yeah, we're long right now, 571 right now on NVIDIA, so we're at 573. So good little look there on that name. I literally have 4 shares of Apple. I don't even know how this happened, but we do have 4 shares of Apple right now. Good trade. Apple's still a very positive stock for us today, but this one's making a move down on 4 shares. So that's what we have. 131, a break back to the upside here. If the futures can get going through 35.50 again, Apple probably takes that top off as well. And there goes NVIDIA. So nice little win here. Making the moves back upside. We did test here, and then we got some more shares, and now back upside. Nice $3 winner right now on NVIDIA. So yeah, I don't know what to do, but I love barbecuing, so we will hit that barbecue. Frying up some NVIDIA winners right now for you. What's up, Brendan?
Another SPAC moving around today, guys. We mentioned this one way back when the initial deal was announced, but GRAF, you may have noticed, has halted a couple of times, just actually resumed and has come back to the downside here a little bit through 2650. But Velodyne is the company that they are taking public. So Velodyne consuming graph. It's another blank check company. They updated their business, gave forward-looking guidance that was better than expected. So graph to the upside today, guys, on that news.
Oh, right.
Yeah, well, guys, watch out. Remember that 720 level we're talking about on Kodak? Rapidly approaching it. Never gave the 7 breakdown, so I never actually got the short. But that top, it usually means at this time of day possible squeeze area. So I will still take my stop for a long. It doesn't mean that I love longs in Kodak. It just means that I try to take these little breaks when it tries to squeeze people out. So you can see me actually just indicate there. Got some 23s, it looks like, to 22s, it looks like on Kodak. It doesn't break 7. I'll still take the short at 7 if it happens. But anytime I see a range made like this off of a bottom, I've seen Kodak do this in the past. I'm going to take my shot here as I just have. Try to run it into this like 740 to 750 area that it tested before. I will short that baby if it breaks down below 7 even, of course. That's going to be the play. I'm going to stick with that.
472.37. Just looking about where to get out here. Sorry, 572.24. So we'll get out 572 even on NVIDIA. So right now, long 571. If it does break too much below, but let me look at the spread, man. It's like 50, 60 cents spread on NVIDIA. So you got to definitely watch out for the price action on this name. I would love to get this back above VWAP. I think if we can get out, I'm looking at 570. 576, maybe 575 and a quarter up there to the upside right now. So we're going to watch out for NVIDIA and take some of this out if it does get back up here. There's been some resistance. So right now we're $2.50 in the money on this name. So good on us, but we still needed to go back up a little bit more so we can get back flat on this stock. 576 and change, we'll take it. But you know what? The futures need to go. If the futures come down, we'll get out. We'll take a $1 win. If the futures come back in, that's worth it for me to take a $5 winner. So let's see if this can go up. Breaking through VWAP here would be next first step, and then we'll see if we can get out here at 576.
Yeah, Zoom, you can see I'm gonna cancel my order. It broke 425. My order got thrown out. I actually missed on the way up. So obviously a big gap, and I can show you on the level 2 right now, still after the move, 30. Sometimes 40, 50 cents worth of a spread. I crossed 50 and didn't even get it, guys. So big move up. It was a good level break on Zoom. Unable to capture it. If I can get back to that price, I'll try to jump into it. But it's going to happen to you some guys. there's a price you're not willing to pay. A market order would have gotten me in, but then I don't know where I'm going to get filled. I might have gotten filled at 426.5. Who knows? But I do have the Kodak long trade. And NVIDIA is pushing at 575, so could get that one. And NVC continues to be in the money. Those are the positions that we have on. I will try a pullback, maybe going long some Zoom if I can get 425 again. But I'm not going to buy it up here at 27.28.
No, yeah. And again, right now, because we're 10:51, we do have guest of the day coming as well at 11:30, so that should be exciting. But the market's moving. It never sleeps. That's why we love this job. What's up, Brendan?
Another halt here, guys, for Whiting Petroleum. This is, not 3,000% to the upside. So they emerged today from bankruptcy. That's the main story you need to know about WLL, a name we've mentioned many times in the past. Here's the details, guys. You might want to, there we go. Whiting Petroleum. So the new agreement under the bankruptcy details here, each shareholder's getting 0.0133557960. If you caught all that, of a share of the new Whiting shares. So that is why the stock is up so much. That is why it's been halted a whole bunch of times today. Coming out of bankruptcy, though, guys.
Okay. Whiting. So we'll look at that. So it's WLL right now. I guess they took the same symbol.
Right?
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so halted right now. Good look there. Wow, what an interesting trade this is going to be when it gets going again. But we'll have to wait. Never want to trade these things the very first day unless you're sort of taking that. Oh, there you go. It opens up right now. So WLL right now, 1.8 million shares done on the day. Opening back up right now, 1950. Very, very spready. 40-50 cents right now on that spread. Moving upside now. It looks like WLL. So I'm not going to play it with a 50-cent spread, but you can. I just don't know what I'd do. High is 25, 26. Look, that's not enough information. Brendan came with obviously the juice right there, but until we see how this thing trades, Neil, that's kind of crazy, I think, to look at WLL and try to pick levels right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to work that from my math must be bad because I'm trying to look at this 23 level based on what Brendan just said, and that worked up to 32 cents, and I'm seeing it trading here. It closed at 57 yesterday.
Right.
So, I just feel I'm not confident enough. I can't do the price doesn't make sense to me. I feel like I'm missing something. I will get you guys over to NVIDIA there. I did get into that one, so we missed the Zoom break. But NVIDIA, we're actually able to get shares on the 575. Now again, to me, this is a scalp into 580. When you look at that double top that it had, I'm not going to hold it through that price. I think it's its own level. Wow, making some money.
I just had that. You have the same trade as me, but I just want to let everyone know that I was out of that NVIDIA trade there for that $4 win. So we did take a loss on that for sure, and we almost made it all back there, but close. My math was, I guess, a little bit wrong. But we're out there right at that key level, and you're probably looking to get out near there as well, or maybe on a break of 476.75. That's kind of that little level right here, but we took it out on NVIDIA. So just if you want to zoom in, we did get out. You don't know how far these things are going to drop. I didn't want to give it to 566, but I'm sort of learning that you gotta, use different kind of share sizes on days like this, because look at the spread, man. This is 40-50 cent spread, so we're really super happy to get high wick there and run with the money and run away fast there on NVIDIA, because we're happy with that trade. Maybe a regroup down there. I know you still have that, so let's see how high NVIDIA wants to go from here, guys.
Money talk. Let's go to Brendan. Maybe we'll get some good news on the currency.
I always hope so.
Hey guys, let's have a look at currency land once again today. We mentioned that yesterday. We were approaching recent lows for the dollar index, DXY up here. This is a 10-minute chart. So this is only the past couple of weeks in this consolidation. 92 was the level, tried to bounce there yesterday. We are officially through it. So continuing to see weakness in the US dollar. However, there are some other things going on today, including the euro and the British pound. There's still a lot of details yet to be worked out and some complications, it sounds like, when it comes to the agreement that the Brexit, or the UK, is going to finalize with the rest of Europe when it comes to trade, import, export, things like that, still being worked out. So both of these under pressure today. The British pound 132 and change, the euro back to 118.3, both down about 0.6%. Canadian dollar, it is negative on the day, 0.08, 76.5 though for the CAD at this point. on. Japanese yen and Australian dollar Japanese yen and Swiss franc both positive today. Australian dollar and New Zealand back in negative territory. Some data out yesterday that wasn't so good is in Australia, so a continuation move to the downside for both of these. What a move for Ethereum. We've been seeing Ethereum kind of leading the way as far as cryptos are concerned over the past couple of days. We're now seeing a bit of a pullback, so 11% for Ethereum to the downside today, back to 430. Bitcoin down 6% today, 11,200 again. Did get up to 12,000 briefly at the end of the day yesterday. Guys, back over to you.
I'll go yeehaw because we got to do it here for you. I do still have a quarter of that Kodak position just to see if it could get a little bit closer to that 750 target, but you'll see me triple tap out once it entered that chop range, and you have a plan going in. You took that little break, and I told you, get into that, past that 30. It's got to break in here, and then you want to see it go all the way up to 50. It's a 20-cent out range on that breakout trade. So I'm going to go break even now on the rest of my stop. If it breaks 7 to the downside, yes, I will short Kodak. But for now, looking to see if we can hold the last little bit to break even or up to that 750 mark. But a nice little trade in Kodak. Feels like that is just the gift that keeps on giving. I tend to only scalp long trades and not try to hold them very, very long. The shorts we can hang on. Oh, shorts I will usually hold on to. I shouldn't say on every single occasion I would hold it for a long period. It just seems a lot safer to me on the south side of that trade if I find a good entry point. Long side, break even 20s we have on long here. NVIDIA I'll give to about like 72s, I think, but I want to see it test that 80 mark. I mean, I feel like that's a nice little double top. It could be a break on its own through 580 at some point, maybe later in the session, or maybe in the afternoon, it looks like, with only an hour to go, Sean.
Oh, yeah, there's only an hour to go. Great point on that one. We're still watching NVIDIA here as well. Yeah, looking at some Bitcoin. We just shorted a little bit of it here on GBTC. We've been shorting here 1304. We did get a little short now, but it's not really doing anything to the downside. So good little look there from Brendan, but unfortunately, Bitcoin not doing much. Apple, we still have these 4 shares, so we're still looking to see what it wants. It's so stupid, 4 shares, but we're just waiting to see what it wants to do here. I'm only holding these to see if we can get above 131.50. It'll trigger into me when that does happen. So 131.50 there on Apple. Looks like a good little trade. The futures still sitting up top here. So I did want to look at AMD. AMD dropped to 89 today, which would have been a fantastic bid to grab, but the 91.50 on AMD. Maybe the NASDAQ's coming back to life here, guys.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I'm going to go back to NNVC here. So I'm a little bit surprised at how strong it's been. Look, it tested back the top end of my entry point, and it does feel like, given the bounce that it made again off higher than that 435, it did get close to bottom wick. But man, I don't think this makes any sense to give it all the way back to 5 even. It just feels a little bit safer to cut this one off closer to break even. It's a little more strength than I was anticipating in this short. So sometimes you have to adjust your plan mid-fly. 435 was a level that we identified. So the fact that it bounces shy of that and couldn't retest, that means I'm not going to fight it. If there's another entry point, it's going to probably rolling off of this 490 to 515 area top. Since the open, 490, pre-market 515. So if it goes into that range, I'll give it another try. I'll go close to break even. 470 is a new stop, sliding it down on NNBC.
Yeah, I just got accidentally in to NVIDIA on the short side, so we are trying to cash out some of that one now. 471. My order was to get out of my initial long, but our long out there was already cashed in, so now we'll see, man. The futures are falling back down. I don't like NVIDIA short. I mean, don't get me wrong here. So if it breaks back above 472.50, we'll get out. So, but that's not really a big trade for me here. We're just trying to see what it wants to do to the downside here. That's NVIDIA. So we are short though, 572.09. And now that I'm in it, I don't mind it, but we are still giving it back here just a little bit here. As look at the S&P now falling. A nice little dollar win by accident on NVIDIA. So good little trade there, making its move to the downside now finally. That's that name, but we're already out. Intel, the nice little runner on the semis today. NVIDIA still up 3%, but Intel also up that 2%, looking to take out 52. I like that trade, guys.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what to do with Whiting here, and I know we're going to be going to Brandon or Valerie in a quick little second, but it's starting to actually give a bit of a range, and I think if you want to scalp and do sort of technical, like breakout style trades, might still be in store, even if the price action doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense to me in terms of where we're priced. I do look at this sort of 19 area and say to myself, if I can short off of that, that would look like a good, 20 area, I should say. If I can short off of that, that's not a bad look here. And especially a breakdown of like 17, 17.50. It just feels like I'm watching it slow down in terms of volume. Might start to come back in a little bit as much as they've come out of bankruptcy. Obviously, still a lot of reasons why some people might want to just say, let's get out and put our money somewhere else. So I'm looking at the 17 to 20 range and maybe just trying to make a break in either direction. So bracket for me on Whiting, nothing else to go by except for this consolidation since the Hull trade, guys.
Yeah, I don't like that trade. We talked about that over and over again. I'd rather wait, like you were mentioning there, for it to sort of find its own way there. That is Whiting Petroleum. So, yeah, that's about it for me right now. We're just waiting on NVIDIA. That's a nice little $1+ win now. Looking to see if we can come back down here, 569. That'll be a good trade. But right now, we're waiting for Valeria. We're ready for Valeria at the big screen with her European update. Give it to us.
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Europe mostly in a positive territory today. Switzerland is leading up 1.96%. Britain is up 1.32%. Germany is up 1.85%. Italy is up 1.24%. And Russia is down 0.62%. Unilever stock is up 2.46%. As it said, it would spend 1 billion euros to eliminate fossil fuels from its cleaning products by 2030 year. That's all with the Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
So
right,
I was about to tweet this one out for you guys, but one of the things we talk about with trading psychology is you don't want to get angry or revenge trade, those types of things. So there was a very similar setup that I had in Zoom and NVIDIA. Now, I tried to get both of them. I did get NVIDIA. I did not get Zoom. Zoom, the one I missed, just because of execution, worked. NVIDIA, which I take, does not break. We have the tight stop, risk a couple of dollars here to try and make 2 to 1 on that trade. So you take the hit. It is what it is. I would be up if both had hit. But I can't allow that to get me down. The reality is I missed one of them. I know overall the setup was still a positive expectancy for me. Execution is part of the game, and you will miss some of those, even if it's like one time out of 20, one time out of 30. Sometimes you just don't get the liquidity you're expecting on a break, so you got to file that one away. Make sure you record it correctly. Like I will note to myself today that it was 1 for 2 and not 0 for 1 overall with the strategy. So the result is going to be negative, but overall you've got to grade your plan based on the actual decisions that you would be making and the results. Sometimes execution has a bit of luck.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I hit that by accident there. Sorry about that.
Well, maybe the winner chicken dinner is going to Brendan, who's going to give us the goods, right?
We talked about this one yesterday, guys. We mentioned that GoGo Wireless, they sold their aviation unit to Telesat. So that was the news on, that one. GoGo, we'll shift over and have a look at. This thing keeps, going all the way to $9 up here, 20% now. 2 days in a row, you can see on the daily chart here for GoGo, guys.
Who's got the bad puns now, Brendan? This one is going, he says. I got to put that one back on my quote board. I clean up my quote board, and it's like if I have something on there, and this is NASDAQ, not New York, I'll take it off if I don't trade it. And I feel like that was probably a bad idea. I just simply didn't have any executions on the name despite it being in play yesterday. And then, of course, you get something like this. If I see parabolic moves at this time of day, I'm going to look to fade them. That's just, it's sort of in my DNA. And you've seen this now multiple days in a row going to the upside. You go to that daily, and it's sort of already broken the backs through that 725, and it's starting to get a little bit ugly for anyone trying to short it. But man, if this one tries to fail, I'm going to wait for some sellers to come in. Very similar to that NVC. Give me some consolidation. Once they do, I don't know where that's going to be. I would guess maybe it could be, if it fails at 9 even, I would call it like an 875, but until it starts to turn, you won't see me jumping in front of it. Standing in front of a moving train tends to not work. So I don't mind being second or third to try to short it as long as the sellers come in or the buyers start to subside. You'll see me jump into a go-go short at some point.
And I just want to remind you, Neil, as well, because myself, I just got into another stop order that triggered on NVIDIA at the bottom. So if you saw me get in and out there, that didn't mean to do that. So in and out there on NVIDIA, small loss. But like we always talk about that, you make keystroke. I mean, I don't know if that's a keystroke error or not. It's just we're doing so many things. Make sure that if you have orders pending, and you may have this at your trade station as well, guys. If you have orders pending and you get filled, just try to get out right away. Don't try to do anything too fancy with them. But we did make a mistake and won, and then make a mistake and lost. So the trading gods tend to figure that out. Neil had the trade of the day there on Tesla, and yeah, down another 7% here today. I hate these wicks, and we apologize for those. But again, anything that's split, we're gonna have to let it go a couple days before we get rid of those. But what is the bottom here? 436. We're getting very close, guys. Tesla popping to the downside, dropping to the downside, not popping as we go. But the good trade there this morning. We looked at 470 yesterday, weren't able to get it, but today, if you did get 470, like Neil had 74, 72-ish, big move down off that initial break. So hard not to love that move. Yeah. Comes back up, makes another move, back up again, another move, back up, another move. So I think a nice little retracement spot, 450 if you're looking to go short on NVIDIA or on Tesla, guys.
As I actually get into this go-go for the first time here to the south side, I just got like 99s. It did give some consolidation. First red candle. You go to, sometimes you got to use a 1 on, or like as opposed to like a 3 or 5, and I do that for these retracement entries. But I will say this: as I'm in this short, where are my pink short shorts? Somebody, I feel like I deserve them for trying to get that Tesla short. Obviously, it can be dangerous shorting stocks like that, but you got to pick your spots, the flexibility to go in either direction. I'm going to use this 9 entry, and look, if go-go breaks the high a day, I feel like I can get out on a 9:15 break, and then if it comes back down, maybe take some off here, you know, call it 875 and then 850 and then 820. It looks like 830 would be the next level down. I will try to pick some more shares up. If it consolidates, fine. That's how I'll get into some more. I will not chase this one past 890. I'd rather get it in and around a 9 even area so I can know what my loss is going to be, and it's going to be around that 15 pennies plus slippage. So if it takes out the top, I know what I can lose here. I don't want to exceed that. You have to have a bit of a plan. I know what my risk tolerance is. I know what the risk reward is. I'm just gambling on the consolidation here at this point. It's one of those binary things. I don't necessarily have a crystal ball, but when I see these multiple parabolic moves to the upside, as long as you can engineer a trade that has worked for you in the past, sort of tape reading as well, you take your shot. To me, it's about 2 to 3 to 1 risk to loss ratio, but you've got to be confident that you can get your out if the top gets broken at 9:15. If I didn't think there was liquidity, I would not put the trade on.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to give a shout out to some of our viewers here. And maybe, Brendan, you could find out. Oh, no, where was it? Oh, here it is, here. What's up to, Kamor Wiener? Okay. I didn't realize that was your name. What's up? But live event right now for Intel. So, again, I don't, Brendan will let us know if that, I guess it's the case, probably. Intel up 2.4%, 17 million shares. So, what I'm thinking, I don't know if they're going to announce some good stuff. Or not, but right now Intel doing some event, and that makes me excited. So we will see if it can break through 52, and if it does, get ready, because we'll try to catapult ourselves into oblivion if that does happen. So we'll wait for that to come through. Not going to play it right now. You know what's a name that we've ignored, that we always seem to ignore, that Brendan keeps bringing to us, is DocuSign. So DocuSign right now, big move down, but this has been a darling of COVID times. You can see $60. I talked all about Docu yesterday. I'm pretty knowledgeable about this company. $73 all the way up to $270. It's been such a runner there. And yeah, look at this. Big moves, yes, last week on earnings and some of that, sympathy plays. We keep talking about them. But 262 and change right now. It's falling, so watch out for this level. A 260 break on DocuSign could be something pretty important. Pivot points, 258 on other charts. Oh, if you guys want to do that, who's on the board there? Rob, this chart, yeah, perfect, that's good enough. Right here, we have different charts going on, pivot points, 3 minutes, 12 minutes, dailies, things like that. So Neil and I simply not trading blind here, guys. We're looking to make some moves on this, on this game here that is the stock market. So you can't do it with one chart and one little technical indicator, but check out our market wisdom page. We talk all about technicals there, and some really good views and some good videos for you guys and traders to look at there. SHLL, that move keeps happening as well, guys. Wow.
Wake me up before you go. Yeah, this just left me hanging solo. I tried the short here, and again, it's a limited amount of risk because I knew where my stop was going to be, but it's just so strong, this name. And it doesn't mean I won't chase it again. It feels like there's another parabolic move coming. The only thing I have to go off of is the $10 even area if it tries to roll at that price. Look, I'm not very unlikely to try it again in front of 950. I almost want to extend even further. So the first time through is going to be a fail on go-go. I'm hoping it's not the last crack, and it gives me a shot at that 10 even area. Another short, which kind of working here. That NNVC, I did mention it felt a little bit strong for me. So because of that, instead of waiting for that 435 to break, and then hold it down to 410. I'll be happy if I can get another leg out here in front of VWAP. It's a 64 short. If I can catch 10, 15 pennies on an overall strong stock, whatever, that'll be fine. I'll take the rest out in front of that 35 buyer. And then if 35 goes, I can just short that breakdown. So because I have direct market access, so we do here Day Trade the World, I can take multiple shots at it. Instead of needing one short to work out for me, I can take a couple of shots at this, limiting my downside risk just in case 470 breaks to the upside. So let's do that. But we need to go to Brendan. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, very quietly, guys. Intel with a chip, apparently a chip presentation coming up at 12 p.m. Eastern. So it hasn't actually started yet. So 12 p.m. Eastern, guys, for the presentation on Intel. Seeing a lot of people talking about a chip that is going to be revealed, guys.
Okay, well, it's interesting to me, and we will wait for that. So thank you to our viewers on the chat for bringing it to all of our attention. However, timing a little wrong on that, so we'll just wait to see. I'm still going to go long if it does break above 52, and then give it a shot here at least. So here it comes right now, breaking back above 52. So we like that trade on Intel. I'm not long yet. You'll see me get ticked in here. You'll see a little tick, and then at the bottom, obviously, it will say that we are long now on Intel. So get ready for that play here coming your way right now, long on Intel on a 52 even break, like 52.02, 52.03, something like that, guys.
You know what? One of our members here I tried my whole like a wham line for go-go, and he had wake me up before you go-go, lost all my money, so I sold my boat, yo. That is, yes, better than mine, but I don't claim to be a comedian. I try with some horrible puns from time to time, and I'm probably dating myself by the fact that I even know the lyrics to that Wham song. Let's jump over to DraftKings, quite frankly. So, you know, we talk about the crazy run that it's had up, the rejection that it put in, that little top here, that 43.75. I mean, you look at how deep this is. Now, ultimately, my gut would tell me, as strong as the stock is being, is there not a likelihood that it's going to hold yesterday's close? And that's going to be that 37 area. To give everything back on that news, seems a little bit strong to me. The market's trying to hold up here. It does feel like I do want to pick some up on DraftKings. I would have loved to see this consolidate in front of 37. I mean, it's at 38 right now. So I don't really have a breakout price to the upside other than 39. So I'm going to hold off for that. If it drops any further, I might actually pick it up in front of 37. But for now, I need to see it break above 39 to get into the long trade on DraftKings. It's given almost everything back, and that feels like a little bit too much on the MJ news.
I see this, Anthony. Thank you so much for that super chat there. Why is DocuSign so trash today? And I mean, yeah, you might have answered your own question there when you mentioned that there's earnings coming tomorrow in DocuSign, DOCU. Again, look what we talked about. And look, is this really that trash today? I mean, we're only down 2%. The market, you saw some of these names today, like Apple. A lot of these things, I keep using the word heated. And what I mean by that is just how high the market is up right now and how high some of these stocks are up. So I wouldn't worry about DocuSign until we get back down below 228 right now. So that's the least of my worries. If you are a shareholder in DocuSign, I would just wait. But for a scalp, like if you're day trading this name, yeah, it's never a good idea to get too invested on stocks day before earnings because you don't know what it's going to come out. And if you do, then you might not want to tell the feds. But right now, DocuSign, we're going to see what happens on earnings. But yeah, I don't know for that super chat there. I don't know, Anthony, because I don't like to play stocks and guess what's going to happen on earnings because, to be honest with you, Neil, myself, Brendan, like, we just reporting the news and you already know that there's earnings. So to me, that's why we don't like to judge what stocks are doing day before earnings. We'll look at that tomorrow. Look at Zoom. We all saw that, what happened that 2 days ago, 40% up on Zoom, right? So that could happen to I don't know if that's going to happen to DocuSign, but a move like that could be in the money here. So watch out for DocuSign today. If you are bullish on the name, hey, take this opportunity to pick some up.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at this whiting. It's starting to slowly roll over here. The issue with this, and when you get these type of deals where it's essentially kind of like a reverse split, you do see a lack of liquidity. And this is, I'm gonna back away from trading this because I'm showing the level 2 here, and apologies, my head is there, so I'll move it over. 76-cent spread. Come on. Yeah, that's a hard pass for me because here's the thing. Yeah, you can lower down your shares and make it work, but if you develop a strategy that works for you here, where's the opportunity to sort of leverage it up, to scale it? So I'm going to have to step away from Whiting. If I had some kind of a structural idea of where this could go or where it should be priced or some kind of stronger conviction other than trying to play some price action, then maybe it would be worth it. But in the absence of that, I will step away from executing either one of those breakdown trades or even the breakout. So it can hang in this range if it wants, it can break it, and maybe it's a great trade. You know, who knows? Maybe it's a huge winner that I'm passing up on either one of those breaks. I'm just not going to do it. I don't have a good reason when I look at that level too. I want to get back to Twitter here. Yeah, I got shook, and I always use the line of shook like Allen Iverson shook Michael Jordan. I feel like I should say I got shook like any one of the Raptors with Jason Tatum, the way he's been playing the last couple of days.
How about Marcus Smart? Like, the guy gets 15 points in 3 minutes.
He's not even a good shooter, man. I think I could almost hit threes at a better rate.
Well, slow down.
Maybe back in the day I could have hit threes at a better rate than that guy. But he's knocking them down. More credit to him. I look at Twitter, and I got shook out here. And this is one of those things where I use that 42 stop. And if you have an area stop or just give it a few pennies below sort of like that key price, maybe that's the better way to go. I got to learn that lesson sometimes. If you do feel you're bullish on something, sometimes giving it a little bit more room just so you don't get shaken out of a move like I did here. It was a great trade off the bottom. I'm not really talking about that one. I was always going to take out this bottom pick in front of the high of the day. I'm talking about that reload, the breakout, and then the pullback type trade that I like to put on. I got shook out of that one when it only went another for like 5-10 cents down. I almost have to find a way to give that to like 85, risk a little bit more. Obviously, it double tapped you in, and then you still could have had that move, the second move, up to 43. So this is one of the things you look for to improve. You're going to see me up on Twitter on the day. It doesn't mean that I sit there and rest on my laurels and say, yeah, ho-hum, I was great. Look at me, I'm fantastic on Twitter. No. The bigger trade was actually the second one, and I couldn't find a way to stay in it. That's what you have to try to do, guys. Improve your trading on a day-to-day basis. It means analyze your winners and your losers. That's the way to go, guys.
So I thought we had Intel there, and we did have, I mean, not that we had it. I mean, I do have it, but I thought we had a nice little win there. It breaks through, we get 01s or 02s, and it goes right to 05. I was like, okay, here we go, time to go, and stop. It goes to 05s, and then the same minute, it goes down to 91. So it almost plays the whole range there on Intel from 05 down to 91. So you're looking at like 14 cents there, which is pretty much the range here, 14, 15, 20 cents. It does that in the first minute on the break. So that indicates to me that we got to get a little bit out. So we did take a little bit of a hit on Intel, but I'm still in 75% of this trade. We got some out at O's there. So we did take a 2-cent hit, but now we'll wait to see back upside now. Still love this name. Just wish, I mean, Brendan gave us the news that it's happening at noon, which is approximately 40 minutes from now. So I was just hoping that maybe that people would get a little excited pre-news. So with that being said, our bottom's going to be down here, 51.85. Let's give this one some room. Here it goes, right back through 52. So I like Intel. I'm going to hit the wrong button again. I don't know, maybe Trump's going to say something about Intel. I don't think so, but I'm going to floss off the idea right now. Not just because it's going back up, but we did absorb that drop down. We have a decent out. Now there we go. We just took some out at 03 for a little bit of profit. There we go. Took some out at 05. Boom, right there.
I'll tell you right now, Sean.
07, 08 now, Neil.
If somehow there's a tweet in the next, call it the rest
12,
of the day,
Neil, this is
Trump on
now.
Intel, I'm going to lose my mind and maybe walk out of here. And that was like a Freudian slip. And like
where's the president tweet? Look at this. It's ripping
I don't
now,
think
Neil.
it is. I don't think it is. Obviously, it isn't. But either way, Intel moving to the upside. I'm going to shout out, good on you, Rocket Doc. If you're scalping, go to the short side. Yeah, you're a stronger man than I, is what I will say. It is trying to roll off that 950, so putting in some lower highs, maybe giving us some actual consolidation to work off of that 950. I think that's why you want to scalp it. Is there anything going on with Intel? Just
no, it's just that news. It's a break through the levels, so your boy is on it. You all know that. And look, I saw you, Marlon, there talking about no politics. I did hit that Trump tweet by accident there. So, and even if we did, it's not a comment on politics. It's just, you see what happened to AAL yesterday, Marlon, when they mentioned some help coming for the airlines. Trump is not going to help out the semiconductor space. Those are at all-time highs. What's up, Brandon?
We talked about this one earlier as well, guys. SDC, Smile Direct Club, 22% still to the upside. Came into 940 there and held, trying to work back higher here. It was the CEO that picked up a boatload of shares at the bottom end of the daily range here. So announcing this morning that through 8, I think, or in that area, was the SEC filing for that. So the CEO loading up on SDC, guys.
There you go, Smile Direct.
Guys, Intel. Neil, like we just did a whole thing on this, and now it's at 22. I was just telling you guys about this trade, and then there it is, banging to the outside, guys. We're all over this name today. Well, not today. I'm all over this right now. I told you we'd take out the big stick when this trade happened. You can rewind it. So we're going to do a little smile action right now. Wow, 27s. Bang for everybody right there. There's a couple bangs for you. Big trade right there. Talked about it. Hit the Papa Wheelies there. Put it in the chat if you have. Boom! 30s right now. Intel's still going. We likey, and we likey a lot right now on Intel. 30-cent win. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Smile Direct, and it feels like it's trying to look $10 even. Anytime you have a roll at that price, you got to lock that one away and say to yourself, I'm going to do two things. If it goes up there again, I'm definitely going to be shorting it. I won't use the other word. But it's a breakout reversal to the long. And if it happens in the afternoon, that's fine. We've seen 1:30, 2 o'clock breaks. But first look for me is going to be 23% up. Hard turn off an even psychological level. Volume tapering to the downside here. Yeah. I'll slide in front of that 10. I'll reverse long. That's fair enough. DraftKings is creeping higher. It's holding its bid. I'm waiting for 39 for an entry. With GoGo, I'm not going to short off the top. Kudos to anybody that's going to be scalping that. But I'm going to wait for a 9 even breakdown. I like that price. I tried it once and failed. I will take another shot if 950 holds. If 950 breaks, I'm not shorting $9. If 950 holds is the top, then I will short at 9 on the way back in. But now looking at Smile Direct off of this $10 level, both for a short in front and then a breakout long in the event that it does get there. And it could be the afternoon. I'll still put it on anyways.
Yeah, I'm just posting this up right now about this Intel break. But yeah, we are discussing this right now live with you on the show. And then look what Intel does, guys. Just booms to the upside. So bang, big trade, and that's why we're excited right now. And I'm mostly happy that we give this to you live on the show. I mean, this is what we're talking about. I got a tweet at me yesterday. Why don't we do trades before we post them on Twitter? But that's the point. I told you to come watch the show. Neil and I talk all the time about our trades, but the most important thing is the watch list, right? If you're on the watch list and you can know some of these names that we're going to be talking about before they even happen, today, AMD, Intel, NVIDIA, we love the semiconductors. Me and Neil have been on NVIDIA today. I don't think we've traded, I haven't traded AMD, but we are now back on these semis. So here we go. Intel, kaboom, to the upside. Great trade there. Super happy, man. We take out the big stick and we hit it. That's why you see a whole bunch of outs right now. But now we're still holding that 25% to the upside. So wowzers on Intel. Let's just keep this party going.
Yeah, very close to that rocket. Finally getting up to that 50 area. A bit of a seller that's going to jump in. So we'll need to see that. I'll need to see that break before I get into that one. But if it takes it out, I'm going long. And to Sean's point, I mean, how much can we line it up for you guys? We talked about 2 days in a row, 470 was a level on Tesla. And, this one obviously is going to be on our watch list. And when it broke, of course, we're going to have that. And the best part about it is if you tune in at 9 o'clock, you can get a bit of the traded plan too. Like, what's the execution? Where do I want to get in? Do I have a price range that I like? I told you where my out was. I told you the average price I was looking to get within that range. I missed it by about 50 cents to $1 on the execution, but it's fine. It held 75. We got the monster short. The only regret I have is not holding on longer. But I did have, and I saw a question, one of our members asking, how do you improve your outs with an Apple trade? I usually like to have a target for at least some, if not most, of my shares. That's my approach. I'm not saying it works for everybody. Arun is great as well with hanging on to things longer and then forming a plan as it goes to be able to hold on to that big win. But you work into that with experience. Try developing a plan, see how it goes, record your results, and then try to use that information to improve in the future. Brendan, what do you got for us?
A couple of things, guys. Looks like the Intel CEO on that other channel right now talking about this release that's coming up at 12 o'clock. So just a heads up on that. Intel still going, possibly could be the reason.
Wait a second, that's the
my
Intel
voice
CEO?
is dying, apparently.
Right.
But yeah, Red Robin, guys, let's talk real quick about Red Robin here. We had a nice move to the upside 3 days in a row for RRGB, or actually 4 days in a row here. After a positive note earlier in the week on this one as well, guys.
Yeah, we're going to wait to see what's happening right now with that intel. But we're still, I mean, I'm not almost out. I got, let's call it 20%, 25% or so left. I just took some more out at 36 there. I'm not going to let this thing fall back down. Sometimes you want to trade, and we talked about this. You kind of like buy the rumor, sell the news. So we'll see what they're going to come out with. But I wouldn't assume that they're on pumping his stock on another station there. But I mean, you're not allowed to pump it. But here we go. Upside 52.42. This is a 40-cent win right now. So, yeah, we're feeling a little psychedelic right now because Intel's making that money for us, and we take it big time. So, nice little move to the upside now on Intel. Good trade. Really happy, obviously, with the way this one formed out. And I can't give it to you any better than this, man. We talked about this 52 break all the time. Yeah, go ahead.
Chas, you're asking about Rocket Crazy Wicks. I can tell you, I was just staring a little bit dumbfounded. I saw what looked to me like it had to be fake size right there at 33.69. I was already on the 50 break, and I said to myself, oh, that's probably fake. They're going to pull that order. And then immediately someone saw that and panic sold, or maybe they just know something I don't, sold it into VWAP. So it did trade immediately down to 33.20. Does look like that seller is still there. So this breakout could have run into a random, I guess, big fish, big stick, whatever it is. But it was, look, that was legit. It was over 100,000 shares on that offer. So you do have to watch out for it. I'm gonna go binary here. I'm not gonna take anything out in front. It either breaks that seller, or if it tests and they hold again, I'm just gonna cover it. I can't give it much past VWAP either way, so I'm going to hold to the north side of that 70 to take any profits. But if the guy's still there, I might just dump it all together and wait for a break at that 70 price. Go, breaks 950. That's why I can't. Look, I'm not going to take this one until it really rolls over. Throw away that 9 even area. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Go just keeps on going. I have no pun for you on that one. $10 next level. If it turns there, we'll give it a shot.
I mean, look, there it goes again, man. We're just hitting the bullseyes right now with Intel. I keep talking about it, but we're getting some out in front of 50 right now. So a nice little trade there at 47. Wow, big trade there. Okay, Tesla right now, I see you guys talking about it. Yeah, we are cracking. Bye-bye, down 10%. Adios, amigos. Anybody there looking at Tesla down 5 or 6% yesterday, down another 10 spot today. So if you're an investor in this name, you know, this could happen. This could be what's happening to Apple right now too. Because of the split, you did have a crazy move up. I can't show it to you on our daily charts. There it is. The fireworks are through the roof right now. I hope that's for likes, probably. Valeria, what do you have for us on those fireworks?
Yes, Sean. So we reached 1.3K likes.
Oh, okay. Feedback. We'll go back to Valeria in a second. Let us know when she's good to go, guys, on that. But look at Tesla coming to the downside in a hurry right now. 425. Tesla's cracking right now, big time to the downside. We don't have any levels because this is the new split-adjusted level. But you could go watch out for 400, I guess. That's a pretty good psychological level there.
Sean, NIO as well, but Tesla's already broken the bottom. NIO is trying to hold 19 even. I mean, with Tesla already going, NIO 19, this could just be a momentum trade for me. I might just take the 19 break and try to scalp that one off. It is finding a bit of support, at least in terms of a bit on the level 2. I just don't know if it's going to hold up to the price action and the selling that I'm seeing. And much like the seller I saw in Rocket, that kind of came out of nowhere, and the futures are still heading down. So I'm going to go with a 19 break on NIO. This is a pure momentum play. I feel like I'll be in and out of that one rather quickly. There's 500,000 shares on the bid at 19. So I feel like if that goes, I'll take a little bit of a shot. I mean, I wouldn't, man, if you went long 1s and 2s just in front of that buyer just to scalp it, that's not even a bad idea myself. I'm kind of talking myself into it now that I think about it.
Sorry, man. Yeah, Brendan messaging me here, or messaging us all, I guess, about Kodak. But yeah, it just went. I was too busy looking at, is this, okay, we'll go to Brendan right now.
A little bit of news on Netflix, guys. This was rumored a while back, but officially, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle signing a multi-year deal to produce content for Netflix.
Oh,
so
God.
nice little look for Netflix. Not so much. To the downside, yeah, they're selling that. 550 resistance there was a bit of a level. So Netflix down 1.8% on that news, guys.
Yeah, when you said that, I thought it was going to go to the moon, but no.
Hate on, I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'll leave that one alone here. I did talk myself into this on NIO, and as much as I'm going to take a breakdown short if it takes that 19 out. I'm willing to risk going long, losing a couple of pennies, and then going short and losing a couple of cents in and around that level, just because I think a bounce off here gives you the chance to make 5, 10, 15 cents, maybe a couple of times in a row. And ultimately, if it holds, hang on to some of that for retracement into 50s. It is a big, legitimate buyer, so you might see me slip into some shares on the way down to 19. It'll always be a reversal, testing that short. But that's a massive buyer that I am seeing, guys. So, you know, it's big enough, and it's a double bottom that's worth looking at. You can still see down there on my level 2 that 19.5 million or so shares. If Rocket breaks this 25, like I said, I'm just going to cover it. That was a out of nowhere monster seller at 70. Did not anticipate that. Wasn't part of my trade plan. Ran into it immediately after the break, so I'm going to run away from that and just take the hit. It is what it is. Sometimes you don't know where the big fish are going to jump in, and one definitely stepped to the sell side on Rocket, 33.70. The reason I tell you, I'm not telling you to get out of your long. I'm just letting you know it was enough for me to get out of mine.
Yep, and that's what it's about. We can't advise everybody where to go exactly on your trades. You got to make up the mind for yourself and hit the keys, guys. But yeah, okay. Kodak, yeah, Brendan was talking about it, I guess, a little bit earlier when we were looking at that high there. But now Kodak falling back down. Watch out for this 720 break here. That seems like a pretty key level right there. So 720 break here on Kodak is definitely one to look out for right now. It looks like it could happen. Our Intel, though, man. Wow, what a trade on Intel. I mean, if you're not loving this kind of a trade here where we gave it out to you, then I don't know what's going on, but I gave you the 52. Now you're at 52.60, man. This is like a 70-cent win in approximately 15 minutes, straight upside. We love that. And I even hit the big hammer when we were going to take this trade. So everyone knows that we were playing with some serious shares there. Okay, there it is. There's the hammer. I don't know why. So my board's not working the greatest here. But there you go, upside there. Docu is also falling down. Let's take off a little bit of Intel now, but their call is coming, or their conference is coming in a half hour. I don't know how much higher you can go. We're in a nice trade on Intel right now, so big time mover here. Good on that. Thank you for the viewers, and thank you for that 52 break, guys. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Slapshot, and I don't know, just... I like the hockey look sometimes, even though the Leafs, it makes me sad every time I think about the season. So much potential this year. I was talking about this 19 area, and the reason I wanted to show you guys level 2 and the $500,000 on the bid, you know, you get a double bottom like that, and you know the market trying to hold up here, and Neo trying to bounce off it, and you get a massive size buyer. It gives you the opportunity, and you see layered orders. I have lots of bids in front of 19. I actually did get the long. I had to chase it a bit up to 8. But again, like I'm only taking 10, maybe 20 cents on this scalp trade. If it comes down, each time it tests the level, I'm likely to take less and less in terms of a gross win. And then the closer it gets to 19, the bigger my position would be. GoGo's about to break 10 even, so it'll be hands off for me when it comes to shorting this one. I took one shot and missed. Man, it really needs to sell off to convince me to jump in front of that slow. But I'm going to take this in Neo probably a few times in front of this 19, so I can see if I can't get some nice little wins here at that lunchtime hour, that little range-bound trade. But if 19 goes, I am covering, I am going short. But right now, that $500,000, that's enough for me to take a bit of a long in front.
Okay, and that's the value right there, guys. Talking all about our trades, what we're doing, what we're looking at, and some of the key levels. We just did cash out once again on Intel, and I apologize if I keep talking about it, but it's been a big trade for us to go today. Walmart has been the opposite kind of a trade today for us. We've made some money on some of these longs. What a great out that was. I don't know where my Street Fighter thing is. We haven't done that yet, but that was a perfect out right there. Needless to say, it was the top. Should have been shorting that. Now Walmart's in some consolidation right now, so we're going to leave that one alone temporarily and see what it does do. But look what we're talking about with Tesla. Look what we're talking about with Apple right now. All stocks right now falling. It does show me long Apple, but I literally have 4 shares on this name. Just waiting to see if it does break that bottom. That's about it, and then we will hit a longer position on Apple soon, but I don't know, man. I just think after the split, a lot of these names, and we're being vindicated because you can see what is happening right now with Tesla still falling down. So I think the split is definitely run its course right now for some of these names. So yeah, Apple taking it down a little bit here. People selling the shares off that split. Tesla and Apple have been huge names, guys. So just watch out if you're holding these names.
Yeah, I mean, at some point there was always going to be some profit taking. I'm going to get back to GoGo. It did test in. There was a break of 10. I mean, I saw it go to 10.06 here. So for now, it's a failed break, but this is not even as big of a pullback. It's about as big of a pullback as it's done 2 or 3 times. So I probably need to see it at this point below 950. Or at least testing 950 to get me into the short. I did reload on some NEO, so I did get in at 8 and then out at like 16, 17, something in that range. I'm going to get back in around the same price at 7, but I'd load up at like 1, 2, 3, something like that in front of that 19, guys. So go, I'm not there yet. When you're fighting against a trend like this, you do need to have a bit of a plan. And I've already taken 1 hit, even though it wasn't a big one. It doesn't mean I'm going to recklessly jump into this thinking it owes me something. It does not owe me a thing. It could go up to oblivion for all I know. But we have to get to Brendan because I do believe. Oh, not yet. Brendan just has news for us.
Yeah, on the airlines, guys. We were talking about the airlines earlier a little bit, showing a little bit of weakness today compared to what we saw yesterday. Headline out here on United saying they're going to lay off 16,370 additional employees here because of pandemic declines in demand. So not a good look. If we go over to the chart here real quick. Yeah, UAL to the downside today, guys.
Okay, yeah, down 0.2% right now, so not crazy, but we will wait to see what it's doing there. Okay, just looking to see what other stocks we might want to look at there. We just took some Intel out. I mean, look at that out right there, man. That's a floss all day long, out at 70. We are now we're basically flat on Intel, so the money is in, and there we go, guys. Beautiful trade on Intel. So happy. Boom, the money explodes, and there it is. Good little win on Intel. I hope you guys watch that with us. It can't get much better for a structure than that. We take a 67-cent win on the last 10% there, and now we're holding 20 shares. I don't. Neil just mentioned something in our chat. Some of these wicks are getting us taken out and putting us into weird positions sometimes. So right now, that's what's happening. Look at Apple, guys.
What I was observing, Sean, is just like there's a few more dark prints I'm seeing. So like I said, there's a couple of different stop orders we can use. One that kind of ignores the tape and cares more about the price action. So I was able to get the reversal in NEO. So the long in front the first time worked, the long in front night, second time doesn't. But I reversed short. And you see me short at 95 here. My entry not very clean. I had to manually get in after my stop long worked. But getting into the short, I had some trouble. I did get it at 95, so yes, it's in the money, and I am covering it to make the money back. But ultimately, you want to have some tools available to you. We have multiple stop orders we can use. I just feel like I might make a pivot to something that looks at that level 2 price. That 70, I want to see it actually trade down there, as opposed to any random print that comes off the time and sales. Now, most stop orders that you guys are using are going to only care about the tape. We have the ability to look at either one. I feel like the way I'm seeing it today, I might make a bit of an adjustment here. But NEO, reversal, we looked at that 19 level. I told you if it broke, I was going to go short. Got 95s here. I'm covering in front of 75. I might wait for 1850. I've already got 2/3 out of it. As you can see, looks like party to the downside. But I had to trade this one manually. My stop not actually getting me in. But quick on the keys. We got it, baby. Whoa! Down to 1860. NEO, the slide that keeps on giving. Tesla was a good short. NEO is not as good. Well, I guess it was as good. If you had this one where we had the Tesla short, probably just as big of a trade. I don't have it till this bottom break at 19. Let's go 1850, guys.
Yeah, NEO, good trade. I mean, look at this market there. I don't know if there is news on anything, but the market is definitely coming back down. And it's not a big news situation. It's only 8 handles here, but these are the ES. It's basically given back its whole move that it made starting 2 hours ago. It's given it all back. We talked about the market coming backside there. Now we go back down. So watch out. These could be some bottoms here as we made it down here before, 54.40, before ripping back up. So what, 35.40, sorry, before ripping back to the upside. And I come over here to NVIDIA because this could be a decent name here. Look where we are. We're right at the bottom. Good little bottom pickup here. I think we'll go long NVIDIA and see if we can't hold it through 564 break. We do love these spots for NVIDIA, but it might also be a decent break lower if we do crack below 564. What up, Brendan?
I'm not seeing anything in the way of headlines on this one, guys, but Coke KO having quite the day here, up 4.3% on the day. Just took out $51 on a huge volume spike there, but immediately through to 41.25 for, sorry, 51.25 for KO. Nice little technical break on the daily chart as well, above that 50-30 early on this morning, but decent volume for KO today, guys.
Good job, Coke.
Arun said something last week, which I feel like I almost want to repeat it here for you guys because, you know, this type of a trade, like a breakdown on NEO, something that's been sold off from like 21 to 19, and then you just do a double bottom break in an even dollar range. You know, ultimately, it doesn't always just instantly within a few minutes give you a 40, 50 cent type of a win down to the next level. You know, that's about twice as much as I would anticipate a lot of times, but it doesn't mean you don't celebrate the win. It's just, it's not always like this. It's fantastic. I love that level. I love this breakdown. The market was going with us, so that's going to be good. I am watching here, guys. GoGo finally does make a retracement to 950, so I am finally trying to get my second shot at that one short, although I did just miss that one. I have to try to manually take it, but NEO, I'm going to hold my last, 10% of this to see if it can break below 1850. Part of me wants to say break even stop or let's test 18 because I'm looking at the bid. They formed up a big bid at 50 again. It's already been chewed up. It might get taken out, and if it does, I want to see if I can join that party because NEO, as you can see what happened in Tesla in this market, wow. What a move to the downside.
Yep.
Hold on to your short.
We just captured that right there. We captured it nicely. We gave you that Intel bottom there, or NVIDIA bottom at 564.33 out, 562.50. So that's another chicken dinner winner for you guys there on NVIDIA. So big time trade happening. Took that bottom out, got out right away off that move. They're just not going to look, like Neil says, that gift horse in the mouth and take that quick $1.70 win there on NVIDIA. So nice trade there. Look, someone here mentioned, can we get Arun's pew? I don't even know what that is. I don't deal with pews. I deal with bangs. So there you go. You can, whatever that means, you can figure that out. But here we go. 567 and change now. We'll figure that out on NVIDIA. But beautiful trade there. Making that money back on that name. Good job here. Anybody shorting with me, good on you. I know Neil has that short as well. So
I'm shorting Neo.
That was Neo. Yeah, that's what I meant. I know it's not NVIDIA.
It almost doesn't matter. Like if you look at what's happening overall in the NASDAQ, if you find something that's giving back, you just sort of jump to the short side and hang on to it. Neo is approaching back to the upside, and I took my shot at GoGo. I'm not going to take 5 cents on that trade. I want a little bit more than that, but I can give this one maybe into the 975 range. So let's see what happens on that pullback first. But Neo has come, like I said, halfway back. I'm looking to see if I can't get a bit of a reload. If it tries to roll over at 19, maybe just jump into more shares here with a 19 even stop, guys. I do believe we are going to go with go to Brendan right now. I think we have our guest trader of the day.
Hey guys, yeah, a little bit of technical issues, but we seem to have gotten it straightened out. So we're happy to have a guest trader on for the last 20 minutes or so of the show. Yeah, brought to you by Lewis Daniels Watches for July, August, September. Everyone coming on as a guest trader, getting a Lewis Daniels watch. Happy to have Walter Amberbach with us today. We had a little bit of audio issues with Walter early on, but I think we have it sorted out. Good to see you, Walter. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Fantastic. How has your morning been? There's been lots going on, lots to look at.
Definitely. Right now, I mean, my long hold right now is gold, so it's going up. It's about 20 cents on the dollar right now. I got another couple things in AUVS and AEZS. Listen, I watch you guys. I listen to you guys. You guys know what you're doing, and basically I just run off of that. And if I make 20, 30 cents on each share in the morning, because I got a 9-to-5 job, so most of my trading is from 9:30 when the market opens till about 10:30.
No, it's a great point and a very good key to have something you can rely on while you're starting off in the markets. Let's get back to the markets. Here's Neil and Sean.
The market keeps falling here, man.
Yeah, I mean, the market is obviously
big win on NVIDIA
downside, but I just got to quickly ask you. I mean, you said you only trade in the mornings at 9 to 5. How long you been doing it? How'd you get into trading? Just to get some basics.
All right, well, I'm only 26, so I'm fairly young, and I started trading basically January. I've had a lot of friends in the finance game that work on Wall Street. My old roommate, I just moved, but he was on Wall Street, so I had a background in just knowing people that knew how to trade. So basically, once they sat me down with a computer and I had the time where I could take 2 to 3 hours, I had to stop because of COVID, so I wasn't working full time. So this is the perfect thing to do to get into. And to watch a lot of videos. I started watching you guys, and you guys obviously have been knowing what you're doing. You know what to look at, you know how to look at it, and it's all about who you know, man.
I mean, that sort of rings true in just about anywhere you look here. So, I got to ask you here, you talked about a couple of positions that you're watching or that you also have on. When it comes to time frame trading, obviously you see us do a lot of day trading. We'll talk about swing entries and some good levels when it looks at the daily chart. But do you have a particular time frame? Do you sort of jump back and forth between it? Obviously, you have a swing trade on. I'm assuming that's what the goal position is, more of a swing.
Right. Basically, so I try to look at the news and I look on volume. So when I'm looking at a stock, the first thing I do is I look at the volume. If it's trading at a volume higher than 4 to 6 million people that are actively on the trade, and I can watch it move 10 to 20 cents on a share, and I buy 200 shares to 400 shares of that stock, I'm happy and content with that. Because like I said, I got a 9 to 5. So I look at it as making minimal amount in the shortest amount of time with a perfect swing trade right in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, hey, time is money, right? Obviously, if you got a JOB, it's going to matter.
JOB, I like that.
You know how I do, right?
I know how you do. We're short Tesla here, by the way, guys. Keep going, Neil.
Yeah, I'm moving my stop on Neil. I just want to update you guys. I'm not giving it to 90. There's a bit of a battle here at 85, 86. And if it goes upside, like I said, I'll just take it out right here. And I just did when it broke to the upside of that 85. I'll revisit this from that 19 to 1920 area. But it's such a fantastic short. At this time of day, I really don't want to get greedy. And I do have go-go on here. And I'm going to ask you in a quick second about trading some of these parabolic small cap moves. I short them often, as you guys will see on the show. As long as you have a plan, I think it's okay. I do get a couple of legs out here in front of that 20 area, so it's a 46 short. It just feels like, and this is the second time I'm saying this stock is just a little bit stronger than I would have anticipated. It's having a lot of trouble getting through this 9 to 920. I'll hold on to the final third to see if it breaks 9, and then I can get like a 50 cent to $1 winner, hopefully. Otherwise, I'm now sliding my stop. I'm not even going to give it much past that 50, maybe like 55, 60. I fought go-go once and failed, so the fact that I'm able to pull something out of it here, I'm going to be happy with that. I know the structure is good on the trade for me, but sometimes when my read has felt off, or I get like a spider sense that one of these things is stronger than it feels like, I try to trust it. You got to be careful when short selling. So is that something you look at? Any of these sort of parabolic moves here, or do you stay away from some of these crazier small caps?
I stay away. Basically, most of the time, and why I stay away is because I don't know enough. And I feel like that's a lot of people's problem, is they don't know enough before they start getting into it. And one problem can lose your money, can gain your money. You know what I mean? You make one small move, that could be it. It could be over, you know? So I don't know enough about it yet. I don't feel confident enough as a trader yet in order to do that.
Yeah, and I love what you're saying there, because I'll tell you this right now. If you looked at this, oh my gosh, this nothing company, 780 down here. Look at that consolidation. I'll short it, and then it breaks, and you don't have an out because maybe you're inexperienced, you've never done it before. I mean, most people aren't going to stare a move like that, short 780, and then if they do sit there with the deer in headlights and it goes to $10, you could run yourself into a lot of trouble with one trade. That's something you have to consider going in either direction. But shorting in small caps with moves like this, you really, really have to have a plan of action. So it has to work for you. You have to have an idea that you have a setup that does work, that you can execute without sort of getting deer in headlights, like I said. And without that, you don't want to jump into it. There you go. Smash a like if you like what's going on here. Good to have you on. But I mean, Sean, most of this move to the downside, and you look at I want to note here, the ES is actually still holding up, whereas the NASDAQ, it was all NASDAQ here. So follow me up on that Intel, because I was really looking at the electric car space on that move and didn't really see what was going on with Intel. And obviously, the tech was dying. You had a great long Intel. Lots happening over in the tech space.
Yeah, no, Intel, yeah, I mean, it's not doing, I mean, I'm out. So we're out of Intel right now. Very, very small position, less than 5% right now on Intel. The bigger one right now that I'm worried about is Tesla. So we took a short there, 23.52, got out 27. So bad trade, $3 hit, but we go back in right now at 27, and now we're $2-3 in the money. So I still think Tesla, Neil, I didn't even realize this when we just called on Walter there, but Tesla almost broke 400.
No.
So Yeah, it went to 405 and change, so we'll wait to see if that wants to happen again. I really think that the next push down, we'll see what the futures want to do. They did come back up, but look at this level right now, 430, 431. Tesla could come to test that. If they do, I'm booking out because that's a good long break right now. I like this breaking long. Look at these bottoms down here, 435. If you can break 430, next break 435. This one's not worth holding. What I'm trying to do here is take small little cuts, if I can, in hopes that I can gash this thing down to the downside. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You had to... I mean, this was the best trade on Tesla here, breaking that 470 that you had all the way straight down. That was great, but we'll see if we can have a similar break right now in Tesla back to the downside. So that's what I'm doing. NVIDIA, we're holding that. That's small. And then Intel, yeah, waiting for 12 o'clock. We'll wait for the last little bit. 12 o'clock's when that's coming up. So.
Yeah, we only have like 10 minutes, but I want to drop something here because there was a question earlier about how to develop a plan for holding trades. And I mentioned I usually tend to have targets when I'm doing these trades. The downside of that, right? So the better you get at sort of a developing strategy or managing risk, there is no way to manage risk without giving up some upside. So part of what happens here when I have a structured out in front of that 450, and then I want to hang on to the last little bit for a bigger move, but I'm using a trailing stop, you know, ultimately nobody's perfect. And if there's my weakest point, I know this for a fact, is using trailing stops to get out. So I'll see this all the time where originally I'll have like a break even. I had a 470, slid it from 475 to 470. And I moved that to a trail to 460 and ignore these wicks. It never actually tested above 466. So had I gone with my gut, I probably still would have held on to some of this for like a 440 move. There's no way in heck that I would ever have held all the way down to 400. It's just never going to happen. I know that in the back of my mind. But I could have improved this trade a little bit and maybe hung on to some of it for like 440, 445. I mean, Brent, that's the kind of thing that, I mean, you're young, you're 26, but you know, this game, you never stop learning and improving. I learned last week from Arun some of the things that he was doing. I learned from what Sean does at times because we'll be trading the same stock, I find, and it's like, we have the same entry point. This happens all the time, Sean. We'll have the same entry point, and we handle it differently. And win or lose, there's something you can learn from that. So I try to do that all the time. Brett, I hope you're doing it as well. But, I mean, wow, we only have 9 minutes left, and this market is still heated. Tesla here at 430. Another battle. If the buyers don't win this one, I think we're retesting 400 if they don't come in and buy this one through 430.
Well, that's exactly the point that I'm trying to do here. 430, waiting to see if we can get a move downside here on Tesla. So that's the break there. Okay, Walter, give us a couple picks here. You hold things for a longer term. Do you hold anything in your 401k or anything like that for long-term investments? Are there any specific stocks maybe that you like in a longer term time frame? Let's go like 3 months plus. Anything that you like here that maybe
Apple, Tesla, Google, my friend. What we use every day. Apple, Tesla, Google. You all use it every day. It's just a matter of time. So we're all going to use Tesla every day, whether it's going to be a watch or a car. Probably going to be a car first, everyone. But
yeah, no, I'm with you. Those are my largest holdings. Google, actually now, my largest holding in my portfolio. Google at 52-week highs. What up, B?
Guys, just seeing a couple of headlines on this TikTok story that just, for whatever reason, won't go away. Trump repeating or reiterating his stance saying the U.S. Needs to get a cut of the action as the September 15th deadline comes through. But this also just coming out, ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, obviously, so their executives are in discussions with multiple suitors, obviously, talking about multiple different options when it comes to kind of getting these talks going a little bit. One of those options would be to sell the algorithm itself, so TikTok's algorithm itself, to one of these potential buyers. The second option would be to transition or a transition period to use TikTok's algorithm for up to a year. The third option would be to seek permission from China to pass along the intellectual property. And the fourth option, possibly a licensing agreement, keeping ByteDance and TikTok in play, but a licensing agreement for North America. Guys.
Yeah, that's interesting news there for sure. I want to ask you one question because there's something you said, Brent, Walter, sorry, that I haven't heard from any of our guests before, and that's you have a lot of friends on Wall Street who know what they're talking about, who you've been able to discuss with. And one of the things, it's an old Jesse Livermore rule, which is, don't necessarily just immediately take other people's trades, those types of things. So because when you're starting out, you've had access to obviously some smarter people, what's been your approach? Because sometimes I'm sure you've gotten advice like, oh, this looks good, do this or that, and you're in that stage where you're trying to figure out what works for you, and you hear us say it all the time. We're just giving you our thoughts.
If I'm hearing it from my friends, it's too late. Because by the time that they're talking about it to me, it's already happened. They already made their money. You understand? So I just go with how they trade, more about like just a swing trade in particular, and how long they hold, at what volume they hold it at until they get out, until they get in. You know what I mean? But as far as if they're talking about something, it already happened. It's you know it. You guys see it every day. You talk about it every day. If we talk about something now and we see it on the news later, just because it's on the news doesn't mean the stock's going to go up that moment. You know. So,
it's probably already selling.
Knowing the fact that that's the company, or that's what they're looking at, whether it's commodities, whether it's tech, that's what I basically just look for, and then I do my own research based on that.
Yeah, and that's basically sort of leading the question there. I knew what I wanted to hear from you, right? So that's what, as long as you have your own approach, I just feel like you can always learn from mistakes, setups, ideas, what stocks to watch. That's why we put out a watch list for you guys and then talk about the ideas on there. I'm not saying go short Tesla. I'm simply saying this is the reason we're looking at that level. This is why it's on the watch list, and other traders might be thinking some similar things about dumping it or selling at that price, and you can do with that what you want. Similarly to GoGo here, which, man, this stock is strong. This is ridiculous. I mean, I have to get back to this. We only have 5 minutes to go. But this $9.20, $9.25, $9 area, man, when a rollover like this starts on a parabolic move, usually, at this point, if the buying slows down to the extent that it has, somebody gives up and dumps it, and that's what gets it through 9 even for me, and that's what I'm hoping for here. But it just feels like it's holding up at this point. I have slid my stop, so I've done my diligence. I've moved my stop down. I'm not willing to risk as much in terms of how far it's going to go against me because of that perceived strength. I'm still targeting a 9 break and then hopefully get out in the next consolidation down. I want 50 cents to $1. Doesn't mean I'm guaranteed it just because I've seen it happen before. It might not happen now, but it's one loss, one win. I can't go negative at this point as long as I don't get as long as my stop hits and I don't miss the trade. I'll be okay on this last little short. But man, GoGo relatively strong today. It's a bit crazy.
That's for sure. Walter, why don't you give us so I just got busted out of Intel there. Tesla. It did break that 430, so we got out. Now we wait patiently to see if it wants to go back upside through 435. But Walter, tell everybody why they should hit the like and why they should hit the subscribe, and maybe what your favorite thing about the show is.
Because you guys are professionals and you know what you're doing. You do this day in and day out, and you are giving us all the information that we need to be a better trader, and why not? If you're looking to be a better trader, this is the way to go. You guys, it's genius what you guys are doing, man. Just put a webcast up and post your trades, and we could follow along. You're making money, we're making money. Why not make money together? It's a family, right?
Great, thank you so much, and we like that. We'll hit explode the money, Walter. We really appreciate that. Oh, you're of the right age here because I don't even own TikTok on my app, or I'm not a subscriber at all to that. But are you? And what kind of value do you really think TikTok has here? There's all these bids happening.
Too much. They're gonna blow everything out of the water.
Okay.
Whoever gets it, you need to get it. You need to get it.
Wow.
So you and I are like-minded. I've been talking about that for quite a while. I actually loaded up on Microsoft shares when I heard that they were going to do that 50 minutes a day for U.S. users.
Younger than me, that's all they care about.
Yep.
12 years old, 13 years old, 14. That's all they care about. Young generation. Listen to them.
There you go. I like it. Good advice there, Walter. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to, I know we need to get out of here in just a couple of minutes, but just worth noting, I mean, these airlines, American just briefly turned positive before pulling back here. So once again, we have some big moves, but I think, no, not yet. We're not going to Brendan yet, but just watch out. I've seen this happen in the past, and when I missed it and then chased it, I think waiting maybe for some consolidation back at previous prices could be good. I'm not sure if this wick actually happened, but it did test back down to 13 at least one time, guys. So watch out.
Here comes Tesla,
on the move
Neil.
again. Tesla is back. It just broke that 430. I have that one up as well. I want to see it sustain above that price before jumping into a long. There's lots of room to that 450 level, which was a good one on the way down.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can't get this going here through 435. That's going to be the spot where we'll try one more long, and then we'll only give it again. Like I said, I'm trying to get a big move here and try to hold things a little bit, not very long, because I don't know where this move is going to go. So we'll wait to see here. 433, probably give it back to 429 on a 435 break. Here we go. We are going to be long very soon, and why we like this, guys, is right here. 435. Stop down, break spot right here, downside. Let's see if we can't, get rid of all this. Back upside, VWAP up to 50. So there we go. Okay, I thought my order went out, but it did not. So we'll wait to see Tesla on a break here. Let's go, guys. What's up, Beep?
A minute to go here, guys, before we get out of here. Join us once again. I'll let you know what's coming up a little bit later on. In exactly an hour, we will be right back here. So come back and join us, won't you? We'll be discussing all of those topics. Going to switch it up a little bit this week. Give you a little bit of our backstories, how we got to where we are, some of the trials and tribulations that we had to go through. As far as our trading journeys are concerned, we're going to talk about poker. Let's talk about how poker players and traders are similar, and if poker players can become good traders as well. And a bear market, what is that? It hasn't been a thing for a long time, but we'll talk about what a bear market is and how we can maybe see one coming if it is going to come. Ever again. It's been a while, though, for bear market. So let's talk a little bit about what is coming up as far as earnings are concerned, both aftermarket tonight and before the open tomorrow. A lot of good ones on this board today, guys.
Well, we already talked about Rocket. We know that's coming. CrowdStrike has been an absolute beast. Join the club with Cloudera there.
Yep.
Signet Jewelers, I don't know. We'll see. Walter may be proposing soon. We'll see if he can get a dime in there from Signet Jewelers. Other than that, Michael's, I don't know, Neil. I just covered the ball. But
we don't. You say the diamond thing, but you know how we both feel about it. Look, we're both married and we both bought a rock. I just feel like the more prudent thing to do.
I'm getting there. We just moved in, so that's one step at a time, fellas.
Small wedding, small rock, put it in the market.
Let's see who gets TikTok, then we can talk about it.
There you go. That's what I love to see. Obviously, Walter. Before we get out of here, I can tell you, GoGo is breaking that 9 even. I do want to see it get to 850, obviously. But one more thing to do before we get out of here. I can always see what these are before, and I feel like I'm dressed appropriately for this National Day.
Hi, Walter. Thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you all the luck with your tradings. And don't forget to join us today at 1 p.m. Eastern Time to listen Niels, Brandon's, and Sean's story about their trading journey. And trading family, thank you very much for another great day together. Welcome all the new members and new subscribers. Thank you for joining the best trading community in the world. And of course, if you didn't like this video yet, please hit the thumbs up right now, because we're just less than 100 likes from reaching 1,500 likes. And guys, happy National Blueberry Popsicle Day.
come on. Honestly, these national days are starting to get to me because, what is tomorrow going to be? Strawberry Popsicle Day or something like that?
We'll see tomorrow.
We'll see tomorrow. Yeah, thanks, Valeria. But Walter, give us your favorite popsicle flavor.
Popsicle flavor, probably orange slice.
Oh, orange. I like that. I like orange. I would probably go with orange as well. Very, very refreshing. I like the creamsicles where they got the cream inside. That's pretty sweet there. But thank you so much. Thank you again, Walter, for coming on. You've been fantastic. A lot of love on the chat as well. And thanks for the call there on TikTok. You and I like-minded on that name. So we'll look forward to that. And don't forget, join us up soon. Actually, 1 o'clock. It's coming faster than we think here. We're going to be live again. There's the dance right in front of Brendan. There you go.
What do we get there?
Get out of the way there. Valeria dancing. That's 1.5K likes, right, Miss V?
Is that 1,500 likes?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We got to the 1,500. Thank you, guys. I'm going to credit you there, Walter, for a piece of that. But you know what we got to do. You know what time it is. Before we get out of here, I do want to remind you, obviously we were coming back at 1 o'clock, but we also we are dropping another one of our educational videos, and you saw them and you loved them last week, and of course I'm talking about Arun. You don't see us trade the futures, but when they're moving, you want to understand what's going on, how you can profit from it, but also understand the game so you can use it as an indicator. So we taped that one for you. We're dropping it on the Market Wisdom channel. Learn about those futures even if you don't trade them. It's all about the knowledge, and we try to give it to you, as Walter said. It's been fun having you on. Hopefully Good luck on the rest of your trades, of course, and the rest of the day. The crowd definitely loved you. We loved you here. For the entire team down the line, for Valeria, for Sean, for Brendan, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. See you tomorrow, guys.